took a full load.
Yes. Yes.
I gotta get the bag.
We're here, everybody. We're here. Yep. Why is the why are those sounds?
Oh, it's bull wrangling time.
There we go.
Marco.
That's the one I was looking for. Okay, how we looking? How we sounding? Let me check. Make sure we're good. Make sure. How we sounding? Let me. Oh my God, it sounds so good. Oh. Years of perfection has made it so. Years of, optimizing has made it so. First off, thank you guys for continuing to follow up with me, even when there's a period of like a month of no live streams. I'm in a turbulent chapter of my life right now, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me like allude to things or be vague about things, but unfortunately, this is the way the legal system in Canada is. I can't talk about things that I want to talk about, and I just appreciate you guys being here because I hope that you can sense my struggle through the screen, and it means a lot to me that you guys continue to watch and support and thumbs up the ting.
Thumbs up the team.
Even though it may be inconsistent or streams get pushed back or moved earlier or whatever. I really appreciate it, and your support means a lot. Even if it's just clicking like on the stream, which of course is free to do, or if you're donating on Streamlabs, which is the best way because YouTube takes 30%, or even the YouTube super chat, or gifting memberships so that other people can enjoy the content. I really, really appreciate it. It just means a lot. So thank you guys. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, and I'm optimistic about how everything's gonna work out. Fingers crossed, and just keep fighting the good fight and being courageous and speaking the truth. I think that's the most important thing that I can do. Thank you guys for being here. All the mods in the chat, what up to you guys? All the members, Shifter R, Devin Kelly, what up? I see Sukhbir Singh. Kareem says, awesome presentation at the MLM conference. Thank you. I've got a new video coming out soon about my MLM conference speech. I decided to, rather than just upload the speech, make a full, well done video with the material that I presented at the conference. Am I back in Canada now? I don't know. Is it a paid assassin asking me? There's no way to know. Maybe you guys can ask me on Instagram if you have Jessica Van Luke. You might have to ask me on Instagram to confirm so that I don't have to confirm or deny publicly. But I will be continuing my travels soon for my own safety, of course. Unfortunately, I still don't feel that it's safe for me to reveal my location publicly, or as best as I can. I'm trying to keep it a secret. Jared, thank you for being here. And Jared's presence, even though he didn't say it, Jared's presence reminds me that I didn't post the link to the stream in the Discord, so I'm going to do it right now. Can't say anything. I'm reading some of these comments, and they're just talking about things that I just can't talk about. Posting in the Discord. Here we go. Perfect. That worked. Okay. Go to an Arbonne conference, lol. You have impersonators on TikTok. I've been having people message me about that. I mean, you guys can tell it's an impersonator, right? Just report them, block them. Security through obscurity, bars. I hope the stream isn't freezing for some people. I have a donor goal for a new lens because I'm hoping to make some videos, like some vlog style videos, when I continue my travels about where I am and what I'm learning about the differences between other countries and Western countries, and how I'm realizing a lot of things in Western countries are a scam. There's just no way to explain it. And since I've been gaining more of these, worldly experiences, I've been realizing how much we're getting screwed here in the West. I say here in the West because that's where I'm from, not necessarily where I am right now. But people are getting so screwed in the West through things like telecom monopolies or oligopolies where you're paying such a ridiculous amount for your phone and internet plan. And in other parts of the world, they're just simply not, even though we have the infrastructure in the West to do it. You know, Canada is really bad for this. I think Canada is the most expensive in the world for internet and Wi-Fi. And we have 1/10 the population of the United States, despite having a similar size land mass. So there's no justification for this. It's a complete scam. It's a complete monopoly. The big three, TELUS, Rogers, and Bell, have created a complete cartel, basically, to continue charging the most while providing the worst service, in my opinion. Shrinkflation is a massive problem. I might do a whole video on shrinkflation and a whole video on the telecom oligopolies here in Canada, just to show how much scamming is going on around us. But it all lends itself to what I talk about on this channel with multi-level marketing, because all of these scams that contribute to people in the West struggling, all it does is fuel MLM scammers. All it does is fuel them to take advantage of your misfortune and take advantage of people's desperation, which is exacerbated by shrinkflation, inflation, oligopolies, monopolies, etc. Thai Nation. Can't forget about Thai Nation. The most sinister aspect of MLM, says Thai Nation. Thank you, Thai Nation, for the dono. Appreciate that. Is that it detours people off their life path and talents and greatly contributes to deindustrialization by proxy. So true. So true. Meredith, what up? Specs, give me a Bublaka for the one time. I got you if I can find it. I don't know where the Mr. Bublaka sound effect is. Everything's all over the place. Is it this? No, it's not that. I don't know if I have the Mr. Bublaka sound effect on this, Specs. I accidentally deleted the whole soundboard and had to recreate it. But here, I'll give you this one. There you go. Housing, yeah. I mean, I did a whole stream on my second channel on Wednesday with my cousin Gabby. Shout out to Gabby. And we talked about the following things. We talked about how entertainment is so expensive, transportation, food. We talked about how immigration, complete madness, influx of immigration is affecting Canada. The dating culture, housing, I guess that would, I called it shelter here, but housing, phone/Wi-Fi, shrinkflation, freedom of speech or the lack thereof, utilities, healthcare, and then in brackets I put KYS because the Canadian government now, can assist you with killing yourself. Taxes. I talked about all of it. We did like a 4-hour stream breaking down all of these things, and yeah, it was insane. Meredith, Jared, what up? What up? Alrighty. Cat the Barber, what up? Is Marco back in Canada? It's funny. Before I left Canada, like literally 2 weeks before I left Canada, all these girls started hitting me up on Instagram out of nowhere. Hey, are you in Canada? I'm like, what is going on? Where have y'all been at for like years that I've been chilling here? Literally the last 8 months before I left Canada, I was completely celibate, like monk mode. Like no dates, no Tinder, no Bumble, no Haramides at all. And then as soon as I'm about to leave, all these girls start hitting me up. Marco, are you Lebanese? I live in Edmonton. We should eat hummus together. Oh, Marco, I'm coming to visit Edmonton for 2 weeks. Blah, blah, blah. I would love to meet you. What the fuck? Where?
What you were about to witness is real.
Jail. All of you belong in jail. If you're a beautiful girl and you only hit me up before I was about to leave the country, it's insane. ADM Watson, thank you so much. We're partnered with TELUS, Rogers, Bell, Atco, Rogers, TELUS. Thank you, Specs. Yes. Reference to Nathan from my ACN video. Super Holly, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get right into it. Thumbs up the ting.
Thumbs up the team.
It's free to do. The first thing I want to share with you guys is this comment that I got on my last live stream, and this is quadruple super duper super important. Here we go. This comment was on my last live stream where I went through the Purium compensation plan. Purium, an MLM company. I went through their compensation plan and I made a mistake. I know. Who would have thunk it? Our great emperor who can do no wrong made a mistake. Well, he did. And the mistake I made was when I was doing the math, when I was crunching the numbers of the Purium compensation plan. So during that segment, when I was looking at the Purium compensation plan, the mistake I made was this, okay? Here's the compensation plan, okay? I went to the compensation plan and we found the fine print that said how much money people earned, okay? In it, also, I'll show you this part just to refresh the memory of anyone who wasn't of anyone who was here and refresh the memory of anyone who wasn't here. So, here's the different ranks in Purium, okay? The highest rank is called 5-star crown. This also, what I'm about to say, applies to 3-star crown, 4-star crown, 5-star crown as well. And this is the this is the percent of all affiliates who reach this rank, okay? So 0.01% of people even made it to the 3-star crown, 4-star crown, or 5-star crown rank. And the amount of active affiliates that made that rank, as we know, active affiliates, thank you, ADM Watson, active affiliates was defined as someone who made at least $10. So that number is even less. The amount of active affiliates that made it to one of these ranks, crown, 2-star crown, 3-star crown, 4-star crown, 5-star crown, was 0.015%, 0.025%, and so on. So a very low number. Now, we didn't get the numbers of how many people are in Purium when I did this math. So when I did this math, I gave them the generous estimate that there was 50,000 people in Purium. And I said, if there's 50,000 people who are active distributors, so 50,000 people who made at least $10. This would mean that there was 100,000 people in the company overall. But let's say there was 50,000 active affiliates. The math that I did on that stream was 50,000 times 0.01, which was 500. And I incorrectly relayed to you, the beautiful cult following audience, that there would be 500 people, that would equate to 500 people who had reached one of those ranks and earned the, high amount of income that you see in these ranks here. Talking about earning active affiliates, the average being, for a 5-star crown, $500,000 in the year, $250,000 in the year, etc. I was wrong. Somebody explained to me in a comment, and I want to thank this person, Nicholas2295, explained to me in this comment. They said, you calculated the amount of 5-star crowns wrong. Yes, 50,000 times 0.01 is 500, but because you're dealing with a percentage, you have to divide it by 100 once more. So there would only be 5 people out of 100,000 who were at that rank at the time of the disclosure. It's actually far, far worse than you made it seem. Please like so he sees this. Well, he saw it. He saw it. And you're 100% right. I realized my mistake. I did 50,000 times 0.01. which gave me 500, but that would have given me 1%. 50,000 times 0.01 would have given me 1% or 1/100th of 50,000. But I'm not trying to calculate 1/100th or 1%. I'm trying to calculate 0.01%. I have to move the decimal place 2 more spaces. So he was correct. I had to divide by 100 once more, or alternatively, multiply 500 times 0.01 once more. And the number that gives me is 5. So that person, Nicholas whatever, was correct. The amount of people who would have made it to 5-star crown if there was 100,000 people in the company is actually only 5 people. What makes this even worse is that I used the percentage of all affiliates, and that was if there's 50,000 people in the whole company, okay? If we just use active affiliates and we say there's 50,000 active affiliates, look at the amount of people who made it to 5-star crown, 0.015%, worse than 0.01. So, or I guess slightly better, but still, we're talking about 5 people. 5 people in the company. So that's for if we're saying active affiliates, and there's 50,000 active affiliates, 5 people made it to that rank, max. But another mistake I made was that I assumed there was 50,000 active affiliates, but then I calculated the 0.01 using the number of all affiliates. And if I'm going to use the number of all affiliates, I actually should have gone 100,000 times 0.01 to give me 1,000 times 0.01, which would have given me 10. So no matter how you slice it, there is between 5 and 10 people, and I think because of how muddled the language in this income disclosure is, we have to decode it. I think the number of 5 is even probably generous, because I don't think that there is 100,000 active affiliates, 100,000 affiliates in Purium, meaning I don't think that there is even 50,000 active affiliates. I think maybe there is probably less than 50,000 Purium distributors in the world. I'm guessing based on the amount that I have not heard of Purium, on how obscure it is and how few people have reached out to me about Purium, just using my Jedi mind powers of anti-MLM experience. I'm just guessing it's not one of those bigger MLM companies. I think I would be generous to say there's 50,000 total distributors, which would mean there's 25,000 active distributors. And if it turns out there's only 25,000 active distributors, the numbers get even worse. That would mean that there's actually only 2.5 people at the 5-star crown rank, or the 4-star crown rank, or the 3-star crown rank. So again, this is proving my point even with the little math and the little data that we have here. MLM companies are lying to you when they talk to you about these high ranks. When you go watch these opportunity calls, these people lie to you. They lie to you about how much you can make. Oh yeah, there's a guy in our company, he's a 2-star crown and he's making... That's literally probably him and one other guy are making that. So I just wanted to give you that preface and correct my error first and foremost. The next thing I want to do for you is I want to share with you these DMs between me and Jared Curtis, who is the guy from the last stream who I said I was going to be debating on the next stream. Spoiler alert, he flopped on the debate. He flopped on the debate, and in my opinion, it was in the most disgraceful, cowardly, spineless way. So I'm going to give you the background, okay? Hello, didn't show his work, unsubscribed. Imagine being amputated from the waist down, but still pulling double-decker rank crown to make up the 0.5. Fire. You can do the math in your very own write this down notebook, available from alwaysmarcomerch.com. So true. Use the code GOONS. And thumbs up the stream. It's free to do. And who's going to be our first dono to fill up that dono goal? Who's gonna raise this cult up on their shoulders? Also, what up to the Pickle? Shout out to the Pickle. It's their first live. Welcome. Thumbs up the ting, everybody. Only half of you have done it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. r/they did the math. Thank you. He's a math whiz. Mathematics. Okay. So, Jared Curtis, the guy from this video. Let me show you. One second. Let me find it. Hold on. I posted it in my Discord here. Oh, no. Sorry. I know where to go. Just don't want to dox my own email right quick. Let's quit this. Here we go. All right. Oh, wow. He made it private again. Wow. I was about to share this with you, but good thing for me is I downloaded the actual video file, so I can still share it with you. But just another example. He probably saw that I was doing this stream because he follows me on Instagram, and he doesn't want me to react to this video, which is also sus because they got comments on this video that completely eviscerated them, and then they made it private. First, they turned off the comments. Then they made it private. Then I asked him to send it to me, so he unlisted it, and I downloaded it. Then he saw I was doing this stream, and he privated it. MLM people, and these two especially, this couple, Jared and his girlfriend, they are prime examples of, I think, Dave Vaughn. Shout out to Dave Vaughn. He shared this meme on Twitter where it was like, what's a job that you think people act like they love doing it, but they actually secretly hate it? And Dave Vaughn had a great tweet. Let me see. Here, this was it. I'm so quick at how I found this. What are you convinced people are just pretending to enjoy? And Dave Vaughn said, MLMs. I could not agree more. The amount of cope that you're about to see when I share these DMs with you is on another level. So first, here's the first message, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm explaining. This is almost 1 month ago now. Jared says, hi, Marco. Congratulations on building your platform and your success. My wife and I are brand partners in Purium, which is an MLM. Last stream I said, respect for coming out and saying it right away. We are currently 2-star crown rank. If they're 2-star crown rank, that means they are approximately half of all the 2-star crown rank people if my previous numbers were correct. I would love to have a conversation with you because I believe it's important to address the pitfalls around MLM in a fair and balanced manner. There are definitely bad actors in the MLM space. Bad apples argument. And the industry, doublespeak, needs more controls and transparency. As though there's a right way to do scamming. We built up a large organization by employing traditional sales tactics and creative marketing without doing the stereotypical, predatory, pushy techniques that are addressed in the anti-MLM movement. I think an open discourse would be beneficial to your audience and those considering joining an MLM. This is our YouTube channel, Kind Human Allison Jade. Thanks for your time and hope to connect. Now, I didn't see this right away, or I didn't get back to him right away. Your boy gets a lot of DMs. What can I say? So I said, thanks for the message. I'm familiar with your content and open to talking with you. Can I ask why you privated your video debunking debunking anti-MLM myths? So him and his girlfriend did a whole video, an hour-long YouTube video, talking about why the anti-MLM community is nonsense, basically. I asked him, why did you private it? He said, that's great. Thank you for the reply. I appreciate it. Please let me know if we can set up a Zoom or phone call one day if you have the time. In the video, there was a clip from the movie Go, and I got a copyright claim. I thought I could just edit it out in YouTube, but it wasn't working. We're planning to do an updated version where we respond to some of the reaction videos, but I think a better use of our time would be to debate with someone who is anti-MLM rather than a response. In the last stream, I explained how getting a copyright claim is not the same as a copyright strike, and that doesn't actually mean that you have to private or delete or do anything to your video. It just means that you won't get any monetization from the video. And if I go to their channel, Kind Human, Allison Jade, they only have 679 subscribers anyways, which means they're not monetized because on YouTube, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers to be monetized. So it's not like this copyright claim that they got was even taking any money from them. They weren't making money from the YouTube video anyways. So to me, this excuse is exactly that. It's an excuse. There's no merit to him saying, we got the copyright claim, so I privated it. That makes no sense. I think the real reason is because they got ratioed in the comments. So I asked him, could you please allow me to view... could you please adjust the privacy to allow me to view it? Here is my email. I would like to refer to the video prior to debating, as I recall some important points from when I watched it. Once I have that, I'm down to schedule a call with you. He said, okay, just sent it. Thanks for taking the time. And I double tapped it. Everything's polite so far. After I did my last stream last weekend, I hit him up. I said, hey man, want to do the debate on Saturday? Now, let me not even spoil this. Then he didn't reply. I hit him up again on Wednesday. Hey man, just trying to get my stream arrangements sorted for this weekend. Let me know if Saturday works. The response I got half an hour later was 4 minutes of voice memos. I'm going to play these voice memos for you. And Jared, you know what? I'm just going to play it. I'm just going to play it. You guys, I'm sure you're going to be scratching your head the same way I was. Let's listen to these voice memos. Here we go.
Hey Marco, thanks for following up, man. I'm deciding against it for now, just because when I initially reached out and you replied, I was stoked that you were gonna take the consideration to watch the video and like you said, assess it and formulate your arguments, and then we could have a debate. But because you went ahead and did like a reaction video to it, it's just, I don't think you're, going to respond in good faith going forward. I don't know really what you're capable of doing. If I were to do a debate with you, I would have to get the recording approved through compliance anyways before you could share it. But I have really no control over that, especially if the recording's on your end. So without having to go through...
Let me just stop right there. Before I go on to the next voice memo, because it gets worse. Motherfucker, you hit me up. You hit me up. You had the balls to hit me up and challenge me to a debate, because you, like every other MLM person that I have ever debated, thinks You're the one doing it right. Everyone else is doing it wrong. You know the secret formula to do it ethically and responsibly. You're the one who's going to prove me wrong. You're so confident with yourself, and there's nothing I can possibly say or do to change your mind. Last stream, when I showed you even a little bit of their video, he says I made a reaction video to it. I didn't make a reaction video to it. Go watch the last stream. I clicked around to a few different random points of their video and talked about certain things, but I did not do the full breakdown. That's what we're going to do tonight, since he flopped on the debate with me. But I didn't do a reaction video. Second of all, he's saying, oh, I don't think your response would be in good faith. Bro, we've been nothing but polite so far. I didn't dog you on the last stream. I didn't say anything bad about you. As a matter of fact, I gave you the benefit of the doubt every single chance I had the opportunity to, and I said only nice things about you, and I said multiple times that I think we would actually be friends if we could just get over the hump of the MLM versus anti-MLM discrepancy in our worldviews. And now he's saying that he doesn't think it would be in good faith. On top of that, he sprinkles another excuse by saying, oh, I don't know what you're capable of doing it. If the recording is on your end. Brother, if we're doing a Zoom, you could also record it as well. You could press one button and also record it. So are you thinking that I'm going to like edit it? This is some weak ass excuse. I've heard from people that have challenged me to debates before, or who I have challenged. They'll be like, oh, well, I don't want you to edit it. I'm like, that's fine. We'll do it live. We'll do it on a live stream so you can be sure there's no editing going on. Then he says, oh, I would also have to run it through compliance. You didn't have to run it through compliance when you messaged me. You messaged me challenging me to this open discourse, public discourse on your own. And now all of a sudden, after you saw my stream where I broke down the Purium compensation plan and showed how even it is deceptive, now all of a sudden you would need to get permission from compliance? Let's continue because it gets worse. The amount of excuses this guy was able to string together in 4 voice notes is absurd. Let's listen to the next one.
Without having to do any, like a legal contract stating that you won't share it. I have no real control over what you do. So I'm just reluctant because it's just I don't want you to kind of put things out there without my consent, which, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Like you made that reaction video. That's fine. Like you could do whatever you want. I think it reflects on how things may go forward in the future. And I would like to discuss the points you made in the video, and I think that would make for good content, and it would be informative. But just at this point in time, I'm just reluctant. So I think we're gonna have to put it on pause for the time being. I can't really commit much time to this. I don't think it's a really valuable use of my time.
Babbling. Oh yeah, I can't do it. It's not a good use of my time. Blah blah blah. I'm not sure. First of all, again, you hit me up. Second of all, we can do it live, so there's no editing, there's no misconstruing of information or, misrepresenting each other. And now all of a sudden, the same guy who hit me up asking me to do it, asking me to use my platform of nearly 100,000 subscribers to host him and his girlfriend, who have a channel with less than 700 subscribers, to challenge me to a debate on the topic that I know the most about, more than anything else in the world that I know about. And now all of a sudden, you don't have time. It's not a good use of your time. I have to get permission from compliance. That doesn't sound to me like someone who's his own boss. You have to get permission? I thought you're a business owner. I thought you're an entrepreneur. Since when does an entrepreneur have to ask permission from a superior to go on a YouTuber's YouTube channel and talk about their business? If everything is above board and there's nothing sketchy, why would that even need to be a thing? That makes no sense. Let's continue.
Being that I don't think it's like that constructive in terms of what we could get done in a short amount of time. So just for now, I think obviously you could put out whatever you want to say. Like you could say I chickened out or whatever, but I looked a little further into your past and stuff, and you're involved with like a lot of legal stuff that with MLM companies, and I'm sorry that you're experiencing that they're coming after you. That's unfortunate, but just for me to get involved with someone who's has a lot of legal pressure, and I don't know if you had to leave the country or where you are now, but it's just a little sketchy, and I wanted to have a discussion in good faith where I don't want to fear the repercussions of the argument. It was just meant to be for content only, but seeing how you're in some hot water with some companies being sued for other things. I don't want to get into it or anything. It's private, but from what I've seen on YouTube and on Rumble, anything associated with some stuff with Always Marco was just a little alarming, and I don't want to I just don't think it's a smart move to get too invested with you. So look, I appreciate you following up and reaching out. That does take some courage, honestly. And I see you've debated MLM guys in the past, and that's great. I think that's necessary for there to be an evolution here. But I just got to pause for now, and I'm sorry about that. But I'm sure you can come up with some other great content to generate some income. So have a good day, man.
Jared, what the fuck does any of what you just said have to do with anything? This guy hit me up asking me to do a debate and used quite literally every excuse in the book. I don't have permission. I don't have time. I don't trust you. I don't know what you're going to do with it. It's not a worthy use of my time. People say you're sketchy. Bro, am I Thanos to these people or what? Am I literally Thanos flying around in my spaceship just scaring these people? Am I the amount of cope? And by the way, anytime, I don't know what he's talking about when he says I looked into your past and there's some sketchy things. Bro, what are you talking about? I actually kind of find it flattering because all of these MLM people who create boogeyman legends about me actually just makes me sound more badass. Think of Scott and Peter. Scott and Peter routinely report that I am currently a big time cocaine czar. This is real. They report this on Losing Fortunes Radio, their show that they've done about me every day for the past 3 years. It's an entire radio show dedicated to me on the internet that nobody listens to except my audience when I replay it on my stream. These guys have been reporting for 3 years now that I am a current big time drug dealer. Think about that. Think about that. What these people will try to say anything. Anyways, we're going to move on now. Jared, you are spineless. You are spineless. I'm not going to say you chickened out. I'm going to say you pussied out because you are a grown-ass man with agency over your own decisions and actions. And the fact that you challenged me to a debate and then hit me with all of this babble and nonsense excuses about why you couldn't or didn't want to do it is bananas. So what I'm going to do now, since they flopped on the debate that they challenged me to, that I then got my audience all hyped up for, is I'm going to play the video that they privated, hoping I wouldn't react to, and we're going to react to that. We're going to watch it. I'm going to put it on 1.25x speed so that we can get through it faster because, like I said, it's an hour long. And yeah, let me just, here we go, QuickTime Player. This is it. Let me see if it works. If I just hit play. Here we go. Wait, hold on. You're not hearing it. Wait for it. I got you.
We didn't know about anti-MLM, that it was a thing until we got into MLM, obviously. But we certainly felt that ick factor that
There we go.
people, that's synonymous with network marketing, MLM. And
okay, here, let me just restart it. Here we go. We can all hear it. Let's watch and let's listen to the nonsense. Here, I also wasn't sharing the screen with you. Let's check it. Here we go.
Hey, okay. So
This is a video about the anti-MLM movement. It's just funny, like, because we didn't know about anti-MLM, that it was a thing until we got into an MLM, obviously. But
Also, guys, click like on the stream. It's free to thumbs it up.
Thumbs up the team.
And I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. 211 people watching, only 123 likes. So, you know, we got to figure it out. All right, let's check out what they have to say about the anti-MLM community. This is the video they released shortly before messaging me and asking me to do a debate. So this is when their confidence was at the highest.
we certainly felt the, that ick factor that that's synonymous with network marketing, MLM. And just coming from that background, knowing that we were in that place too, and how we became successful with it and leaned in and love it, I think could inspire people and just kind of informationally change their perspective on things. Because yeah, MLM, it's interesting. It's like a really amazing model of business. It was, developed for students to initially like create a business while they're studying, so that when they graduate, they have something going, like.
Not true. First mistake, we're 1 minute in. First mistake, objectively untrue. MLM was not designed as a business model for students to make some money while they were studying. That is objectively not true. And if you want the true account of what multi-level marketing is and where it came from and the history of it and who created it, the book is called Ponzi-nomics, and there is an affiliate link in the description of my YouTube channel, in the description of this live stream that you're watching right now. If you want to save the link for later or come back later, the link to the paperback and audiobook version of it in the US and Canada is in the description. Those are the affiliate links. If you're in another country, I don't care about the money. Just go get it from wherever you get your books from and check it out. But again, what they're saying is objectively not true. Thank you for this donation here. Let me see who dropped this $5 super chat. Thank you so much. The first super chat first Streamlabs dono of the night. This is from Ari. Ari said, "Your job's not done. Someone called me to tell me they got recruited to an MLM yesterday. He told me all about the deceptive earning claims and everything. I suggested your channel. No hesitation, since it's an early recruit." Well, hopefully they are able to get out before it is too late. Let's continue.
Just simple basic structure. It's very kind of easy to understand, but complex in how, in practice.
Yeah, it's a brilliant system in theory, and actually, just learning more about how it works is most ethical and fair kind of a structure. It incentivizes us to help one another.
Again, we're 1 minute and 21 seconds in now, and there is another factual inaccuracy. MLM does not incentivize you to help other people. As a matter of fact, you will only be successful in MLM if you deceive people. It is an inherent scam, to the point that even calling yourself anti-MLM is somewhat of a redundancy, because you don't need to declare yourself anti something that is inherently based on deception and scamming. Just like you don't need to say that you are anti-murder. I would hope that it is a given in a rational, sane, good, noble person that murder is wrong. Just like I would hope it is a given for a rational, sane, noble person to think that lying and deception and fraud is wrong. So this could not be further from the truth. And this is how deep the doublespeak goes, is that, cults do this, politicians do this, governments do this, fraudsters and scammers do this. They will use doublespeak to such a degree that they actually call something the opposite of what it is. So rather than them calling this a mathematically impossible endless chain pyramid scheme recruiting enterprise where you have to tell people lies about how much money they'll make in order to get them to sign up under you so that you can reach a higher rank while they stay on the bottom and make nothing, instead they will say it incentivizes you to help other people. No, it doesn't.
Equal playing field. And like Jared said, it was really...
We're now 1 minute and 25 seconds in, and there is another factual inaccuracy. No, it is not an equal playing field. As a matter of fact, by virtue of the design of an MLM company, when you join it, you don't know. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Nickel D. Nick, appreciate you, Nick. I'm going to call you Nick. Big $50 super chat. We love to see it. Thank you so much, bro.
It's an evil world we live in.
Nice. Thank you so much. It is not a level playing field. If you think about a pyramid scheme, there's somebody on the top, there's 5 people below them, there's 5 people below them. if you're getting into a company that's already been around for several years, you have to know that you are not entering at the same level that the person above you entered at. This is so basic and so fundamental that it is amazing to me that anybody, Alice and Jade, or anybody could even say something like this with a straight face. It is the complete opposite of a level playing field because you are being recruited into it by someone who is your upline. It's in the name. It's in the word. They are up above you. You are their down line. You are down below them. So this is a complete lie. There's no other word for it. You know, sometimes I wish I had clever little psychological devices and things to point out to you and be like, oh, this is actually called, you know, a false equivalence fallacy, or this is the appeal to ignorance fallacy, and I could like explain it. Sometimes it's just as simple as lying, saying something that is not true. Sometimes it is just a lie, and it's nothing more fancy or flashy or polished than that, and I just have to call it what it is. This is a lie.
Designed for people who are in school so they can start to, it's so empowering, you know, like it gives people, average people, an opportunity to make as much as they want by being a good person, because ultimately people buy you. And so it reflects, you know, a lot of the work we do is personal development. But yes, absolutely.
Again, not true. This is not a business where you thrive by being a good person. This is a business where you thrive by pretending to be a good person and feigning authenticity. If you've been in an MLM before, you will hear how they tell you how to be authentic, go strike up conversations with people, show genuine interest. The irony here is that if you have to tell someone to be authentic, if you have to tell someone to be genuine, well, I can't think of anything less authentic and less genuine than that. What she's talking about when she says, oh yeah, this incentivizes you to be a good person and you're helping other people, what she's actually talking about is this copy paste or duplicated personality that every single MLM high ranked person that I have ever seen comes to adopt. All of these guys that you've seen in my videos, Nathan, I can't say too many names because of the, but look at my Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme series, okay?
God did.
All the guys who are...
Nicole YDIDDDDD.
Hey, come on
50
now.
Canadian dollars.
Be a good person.
Be a good person.
Thank you, Nicole Y. Appreciate another big $50 super chat or Streamlabs. I love that. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you. When these people go up to you in the store and say, hey, I like those shoes. Hey, I like your glasses. Do any of us not get weirded out by that? Do any of us actually think like, oh yeah, this is normal? Maybe. And then 5 minutes later, they start talking to you about, oh yeah, my mentor is having a party. And what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Look at my Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme videos and see how these guys all use the same phrases, the same buzzwords. We're not brainwashing. We're washing your brain. Hey guys, listen, it's a hard economy, right? Well, the thing is, inside of this business, right, you can create your own passive income, right? So what you want to do is, let me ask you this, guys. Would you rather have $1 million right now or a penny doubled every day for 30 days? Well, if you said a penny doubled every day for 30 days, you're actually right because it equals out to more than $1 million cash. But this is one of the things they don't teach you in school. Speaking of which, you know what else they don't teach you in school? And on we go. Babble, gobbledygook, flim-flam, nonsense. This is what you become. In my interview with cult expert Stephen Hassan, author of Combating Cult Mind Control and Freedom of Mind, he talks about how cults will create a new cult identity for the victim. And the authentic self gets suppressed down below that cult identity. And the difficulty in trying to get someone out of an MLM is you're not just trying to point someone to the numbers of how they're going to lose money. Anyone can understand that. Cults are so much deeper than that. You can't just point to the end result. Everybody thinks that they're going to be the one to make it. Everybody in MLM thinks that they are like the, the Buzz Lightyear meme where he's on the shelf. Let me see if I can show you this. It's like this. It's like this meme. Hold on, let me switch it over. It's like this meme where it's Buzz Lightyear in the little box, and he's like, I'm going to be the one to make money in this MLM. and then you zoom out and you see all the other 1,000 Buzz Lightyears who are thinking the same thing. That's exactly what this is. And when someone is in a cult, you have to understand it's an emotional tie. It's a series of emotional ties. MLMs, just like all cults, induce the phobias that people already have, or they give them new phobias. This is why they talk about your why. Hey man, don't you want to pay for your mom's cancer treatment? If I notice that you're not grinding the way you should be, do you give me permission to hold you accountable? Also double speak. Hold you accountable in MLM actually means bully you and condescend to you to make you do my bidding and go out there and recruit more people and be a hun bot or a hun bro and become an MLM zombie and not actually be a real person and go out there to Walmart and Target and tell people you like their shoes. Does this at all sound like being incentivized to be a good person? Again, this is a lie.
Before coming into it, I had the same prejudices. I had the same like feeling of ick. As soon as I found out someone was in an MLM, I was like, I'm not sitting next to that person.
Check off the box. If I can do it, you can do it. I was just like you, on and on.
Like, I don't want to be, you know.
So this is a good chance. I wanted to watch this scene from the movie Go. So it's this
Okay,
older
let's watch it.
movie. It's a Doug Liman. He's
Love this
awesome.
movie. I haven't seen it since I was
Yeah,
a
it's pretty
teenager.
old. Yeah, we're old already. Pulp Fiction's already 30 years old.
Oh my
Can you
God, that's
imagine?
crazy.
So yeah, this is just like the ending scene where they discover that they're in like an type thing called Confederated Products. So yeah, let's just watch it and then.
This is actually pretty not necessary to the overall thing. This is just them trying to make their point. It's a clip from this old movie where the husband and wife invite the other husband and wife to dinner and they tell them that they're basically selling Amway. So they play this clip from the movie. I'm going to skip past it. Here we go.
Oh,
Everything, yeah.
really
So everything from top to bottom there is spot on because it's
I
captured.
relate on both
that-
ends. I've been
yeah.
on both ends of that. Yeah.
So just like that icky, like being uncomfortable, like in a corner, like am I being pitched to right now by some people and them on their side, seeming like they're this.
Oh, also, sorry, I forgot one thing. She was talking about self-development. A lot of the work is self-development because ultimately people buy into you. This is very clever, a very clever doublespeak. What she's talking about when she says self-development, I find in MLMs, is actually self-suppression. It's blasting you with all of these mindless motivational babble, I call it. All of this just nonsense. When are you going to be the main character in your own story? Nonsense. Just like hype. That's all it is. Just hype and nonsense, and they call it self-development. Write this down. Did you guys know that Ray Kroc didn't become successful with McDonald's until he was 50? Persistence. When you go out there and you message 100 people on Facebook every single day and they tell you no, the time that you want to quit is when you should go even harder, because that's what's going to separate the wheat from the chaff and make the true stars rise to the top. Blah, 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 blah. Nonsense. I could freestyle the greatest multi-level marketing like conference speech you've ever fucking seen, because I've just seen it all so much. And she's talking about how people buy into you. What she's talking about is exactly that fake version of you, that cult self that is suppressing your authentic self, that cult self who goes up to people and acts like, oh, hey, I like your shoes, or DMs you and says, hey, girly, I saw you just had a baby and you're probably trying to lose that baby weight, right? Well, I have a thing that can help you, blah, 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 blah. Mind games.
They're offering,
Kind of
they're
like-
offering like a good opportunity. They're like, you know, they mean well, like, and you know,
Yeah.
I
But
can
they
see
come
how
across.
it seems so, oh my God, so phony. And like, it's
That's
just
how
so
most people
cringe.
think. Okay, this is general consensus, and that is still, it's like 20 years old, that
Mhm.
video, that movie, and it still holds true. Like people are like, oh, you do like you recruit people, and it's a sales agents teams and pyramid scheme, and like it's all under like that
Mhm.
guys, right? Okay, so that's how we came in. That's exactly like that. I was like, Amway, like I don't want to do that. Like
Well, that's not how we
selling-
came in.
Well, no, just our
That's
perception,
our perception. That's,
of
this is not the
network marketing.
situation that we came in on in any way, shape, or form.
So this is
Yeah.
just speaking to that nature of like, okay, it's marketing, it's direct selling, right? As a business model, it makes a lot of sense. And
Okay, pause right there. It's direct selling? No, it's not. It wears the disguise of direct selling, but in Robert Fitzpatrick's book, Direct Selling, a nonfiction fable, it is an accompaniment to the book Ponzinomics. It's a very small book. You can finish it in one day. I highly recommend that you get it because it talks about this fictionalized version of a person who tries to go out and become a door-to-door direct seller. And Robert explains how I think the words he uses are, isn't direct selling something that requires a rare aptitude to sell and be charismatic and face rejection and speak well and on and on and on? How could millions of people possess these skills? MLM says that anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. MLM says that anyone can be a direct seller, but that's not true. Not everyone can be a direct seller, just like everyone can't be a car salesman or a realtor or a salesman of many kinds. Some people just don't have that, as Robert calls it, rare aptitude. This idea of direct selling, of being like a Yankee peddler, going from the rural community to the next one, selling like encyclopedias or Bibles or vacuum cleaners or whatever, this is a largely obsolete business model, okay? Where if there are millions of multi-level marketing or direct selling people walking around North America today, where are they? Wouldn't I be having these people knock on my door every single day if there truly was millions and millions of them, like they say there is, like the Direct Selling Association says there is? Some of these MLM companies claim to have over 100,000 people in a single company. Where are they? Where are they? Why don't I go outside and see them? Why don't I see the sign on a store? Surely if there was this much business going on, they would have invested in brick and mortar stores, or they would have started selling in Walmart, Target, Costco, Amazon, wherever. But I have to talk to some guy or some chick on Instagram DM who's cold prospecting me, cold DMing me to buy this product that supposedly millions of people love, that has been around for 30 years, that hundreds of thousands of people swear by, that has generated this amount of income. How? Where is it? Where are they? Again, lying. This is lying. Let's continue.
You get an idea of leveraging other people, and that outside of binary hours to dollars income, passive income, beach money, you know, the 4-year career, like that is very attractive.
Like, I think what they were even
We're not even 6 minutes in. We're already talking about the passive income.
there, that picture, like they were speaking to the wrong people. Like those people were obviously not open. Like I can't remember the movie now.
They're
so-
actors, but they thought they were like hitting on them, but
Oh,
it's all
okay.
just confusion.
Okay, I have to see that movie again anyways, but that was like, you know, you can see clearly, like that would.
Also on the last stream, I talked about Jared drinking this like processed powder that he scoops out of a plastic bag and then mixes with water and drinks it. And how could that possibly be the cancer fighting natural thing that is going to defeat, like, you know, the matrix of big pharma and big food and, you know, all the stuff they put in the food? He posted an Instagram story that hopefully you guys can see. It's right here. Oh, you can't see it because I have the green screen effect on, but this is a green smoothie. And he puts, most people say it's powders. Me, it's organic whole foods, raw, dehydrated at low heat with no added chemicals or processing, and delivered to my home in compostable packaging. And then, what was the shit he said about the water? When you mix it with water, it reanimates the living enzymes within the food, and then it gives you the medicinal benefits. Does anyone believe any of this for a second? I'm not like a dietitian or a nutritionist or a doctor, but I know babble when I hear it. I know nonsense when I hear it. You are scooping powder out of a plastic bag and claiming that this is like healthy organic food. Sorry. No, it's not.
Like maybe there would be someone who that would be an incredible gift to, you know, I don't know, like to receive that opportunity. If they're
Joseph says, I'm just a wandering trader peddling my wares. Would you like to join my triangular cult? LOL.
for it, but it's all about knowing like who you're speaking to. We're not for everyone. So I know, you know, the average person or the person, let's say, that's eating McDonald's eating McDonald's every day. I used to look for people who were like sick and eating crap and, you know, poor. And I was like, they need this because this helped us get to those next levels of our healing and our, you know, wealth. But we're not for the market of people who eat McDonald's every day. That's probably more someone who does Herbalife, which is like a lot of sugar and, you know, synthetic flavors. And
this is the double whammy of nonsense here. First of all, we're not for everyone. This is already passing the buck, passing the blame. If you don't see what we're doing, you must just not get it. You're one of those plebeians that eats McDonald's every day. We're not for you. And then also the second part of the double whammy is, oh, that's more like Herbalife, which is full of powders, full of sugars and whatever. Herbalife makes the same claims these people are making. Herbalife claims to be healthy. Herbalife is one of the biggest MLMs that has ever existed. Fun fact, in this book that I've been taking far too long to read called Doublespeak, I'm going to show it to you. I actually put a sticky tab on one of the pages because I was surprised to see the company Herbalife mentioned by name in the book. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab the book and show you exactly what it said. I'm back. I did that in record time. This is the book Doublespeak right here. You probably can't see the cover because it looks like it's blue, but it's actually yellow right here, but the green screen thing is fucking with it. Here we go. I'm going to read you the excerpt right now that talks about Herbalife. I put it on a sticky tab right here. Here we go. When Herbalife International agreed in 1986 to pay $850,000 to settle charges by authorities that it made false claims in promoting its nutritional and weight loss products, and agreed to change some of the claims it was making, President Mark Hughes wasn't flustered a bit. He issued this press release. He said, "Today represents a milestone for Herbalife, a solid foundation that is built on the confidence given to us today by statements issued by state and federal regulatory agencies. I am pleased to announce that, after more than a year and a half of discussions and negotiations with the FDA, the California State Attorney General, and the California Department of Health, all three agencies have independently determined that Herbalife products have been and still are safe for the American public. Furthermore, all of our product claims, labeling, and marketing materials are now in conformance with the spirit and the letter of both federal and state law." That's the end of the quote. A few more such encounters with federal and state authorities, and Herbalife will be ready for sainthood, if you believe this press release. That's exactly what it says in the book. Literally, the book called Doublespeak. The book about the entire deceptive language tool of Doublespeak mentions an MLM company by name, and it's one of the biggest ones, and it happens to be the one that Allison Jade mentioned there. This is not so different from what happened many, many years later in the 2000s. I think it was 2015 or 16, when, once again, Herbalife agreed to pay a settlement of $200 million and was able to avoid being labeled as a pyramid scheme by the Federal Trade Commission after they investigated Herbalife. Their CEO, what was his name? Michael O. Johnson. Michael O. Johnson said about Herbalife, here, FTC. I'm just going to play you the clip and show you how, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Michael Johnson, Herbalife, FTC settlement. Here we go. He announces this like it's great news. He literally says in the thing, "We have great news." I should play you the clip from Betting on Zero right now. See if I can find it. I can't find it, but you know what? We're gonna watch. I haven't announced this yet, but I'm gonna do Discord movie nights. There's 4 movies that I've written down that I want to watch with you guys because it all ties into the sort of stuff I talk about on my channel. And the movies that I want to watch are, where is it? Here we go. Thank You for Smoking, The Man in the White Suit, 1984, and Betting on Zero, which is about Herbalife and the FTC investigation that I just talked about. A couple of the people I've interviewed on my channel are in that movie as well. Doug Brooks, Robert Fitzpatrick. So anyways, fast forward to 2016, Michael O. Johnson, who was now the new, at that point, president of Herbalife, said a similar thing after they paid $200 million to settle with the FTC. He starts the video by saying, "We have great news." We have great news? You just took arguably the biggest PR and financial L in the history of your company, and the press release, the official PR video, was laden with doublespeak, talking about, "Oh yeah, we have great news. We've come to an agreement with the Federal Trade Commission that's going to ensure Herbalife stays prosperous." Blah blah. It was something like that. very similar to what we just heard from the book. So, you know, even when these people are caught, they still will spin it. They're professional spin doctors. All right. Here we go. Where did it go? There it is.
All this like kind of, you know, it's less, okay, like I'm not gonna put anything down, but it's like something like Herbalife would appeal to maybe the person who's eating McDonald's every day. And I think there's a place for all different levels of, you know, different companies, different levels of quality. But I know with our level of quality, I know our target audience is someone who's already healthy, is already eating organic, knows the importance of, you know.
So maybe let's just preface
Yeah.
it with like, if you don't know about Purium, okay, it's just organic whole food. We had incredible health transformations. Allison went off multiple medications. I lost a bunch of weight, and my
Deceptive health claims almost guarantee that no compliance department. It's funny, this guy Jared wants to talk about compliance before he debates me, and yet he's freely uploading YouTube videos where he talks about losing weight and getting off medication thanks to the processed powder that comes in a plastic bag that he got from Purium. You know, and also with Allison talking about Herbalife and how Herbalife would be something that appeals to people who eat McDonald's every day. It's again, I know there are bad apples, but that's not us. Oh yeah, those other MLMs. Oh, I felt the same as you, but not us. Mind games.
asthma and allergies. So the food like spoke for itself. Like when we got into it, we didn't start as like, we're going to sell this and we're going to make money.
We
and
didn't
it's-
start as
no,
business.
it's
We
like
started
we
as
fell in
customer.
love with the product. It's really amazing, great
Yeah.
product. And like Allison's saying, there's a sliding scale of quality. So people unfortunately think of like Herbalife or
I just want to say
Amway
about how
as-
we got in just for a second,
Yeah, go ahead.
because I had a lot of people reaching out to me with all these different companies around the same time. It was, you know, going on for a few years where on Facebook, I would have people reach out for Juice Plus and Arbonne and whatever. My cousin was doing Herbalife. I had people prospect. I had someone on us for the Rodan and Fields. I had all these,
Oh yeah, Wolf of Wall Street would be a good movie for us to watch too.
you know, other companies coming to me, and I was like, there was not even a question in my mind that I was open to trying their products. I would research, you know, a little bit, and I would see like, this is not a quality. How could I like put this in my body? And then how would like my integrity is like, I would never think to sell something that I don't like take myself, that I wouldn't advocate for. So when Purium came into my life, I'll just say it came in from a completely, it came in from a functional medicine doctor. So it came in from a health standpoint, and I was taking it for my health. I never normally ordered anything online, but the fact there was only, you know, it was something that you had to order online, right from farm to family. When I looked at the ingredients, I was really blown away because everything in the ingredients was what I was already taking. I really already believed in. I would have never ordered something or taken something that didn't 100%, you know, like I would have taken it whether, like, I didn't even know I wasn't even concerned with the business opportunity at all. I was purely taking it for health
Nutritional
and
benefit.
nutrition. And when it noticeably, if like, you know, improved our lives, like we were seeing results fast. Even if there was a business, if there wasn't a business opportunity, I would have been sharing it. So for me to get my partnership in this, I wanted to continue. Jared was like, we need to get more of that green juice when we ran out. And he was originally like, we need to, you know, like you've been scammed and whatever. He had like his whole perception of how, you know, it can't, because he wasn't there when I had the meeting with the functional medicine doctor and knew, you know, all of that, what I knew about it. But anyways, Jared changed his tune when he experienced it for himself and then wanted to continue taking it. So that's the power of these foods is once you start, and we ran out for a bit, like, you know, we noticed the difference. We're like, life is better with this. So now we knew, okay, we're going to be ordering this every month. This is, you know, whether there was a business with it or not, we were. Now the fact that there was,
I had to order it.
LOL, farm to family. Yeah, it's powdered, processed powder in a bag. You can't make this shit up. I also love this too. Look, even if the product is good, okay? Even if the product is good in an MLM, you can find an equivalent or better quality product for cheaper from a company that does not exploit its own sales force by putting them into a multi-level marketing model of distributorship where 99% of people are guaranteed to lose money, as you know, by virtue of the design of the endless chain, 5 who recruit 5 who recruit 5 nonsense. And we looked at this on the last stream I did about Purium. If you haven't seen that, after this, maybe go back and watch that one, where I show the website and I show how much a little bundle of their like lotions and potions is. And it's like an absurdly high cost. There's like a $500 kit of this stuff that you can buy. And I showed an image of the kit, of the bundle. And I said to the audience on the stream, I said, guess how much you think this is? And the highest guess was $250 and it was $500. So, you know, even if the product is good, you're still contributing to a system where the net result is harm to people who have been deceived.
Same way you'd order your favorites, olive oil, your favorite,
Toothpaste,
yeah,
whatever.
just-
Like
it's just
something you
hard
get
to-
when you run out, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a subscription, like loyalty customer price. So why would we not? Of course, we signed up for that. It was a no-brainer. It wasn't like, you know, for us, it was so organic in that way. And then of course, if there's a gift code to be shared, like I said, we'd be sharing it anyways. It made so much sense. So that's what opened my mind. We all have to find something that aligns with us. Obviously, every person is going to come to like, you know, is looking for different things. We were looking for specifically, like I really care about environment and quality. And so Purium really aligned with everything. So when I got my gift code, I would have shared it the same way if a restaurant that I loved or anything I was ordering, you know, regularly, if they were like, thanks for being a loyal customer, here's some gift cards. Like it, for me, it was a no-brainer. I was like, oh my God, I have gift cards to share. I'm going to like make it rain. Like, why would I not be sharing this everywhere? But that's when I was met with like this, like, I was like, oh, now I'm like like I'm being looked at as this person and stereotyped, and that's, yeah, so that's where we're at.
So that's it. Like you fall victim to the stereotypes, and some
We're here
people
to bust that because it's not, you can't stereotype
Yes, the video's on 1.25 speed.
things. Like there's
Okay,
Yeah.
well, just back up.
Okay.
You're going too fast here. Slow down.
I get
please.
excited.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, excitement's good. This is how we made it in this business, because we were excited about something we love. And word of mouth advertising, word of mouth marketing, someone saying, I love this, this is good, is the most valuable type of marketing, hands down. And big marketers know this, big companies, agencies, they recognize that. So the fact that we are saying we love this, you should buy it too. People have their guard up because they're like, but wait, you're profiting from that word of mouth advertising. How could you be genuine? How is that sincere? So that's where the people element, the emotional intelligence is really essential, where people can detect we're humans. We know when someone's being real or not. You could have a very good salesman, a good pitch man who could sell anything, you know.
Energy doesn't lie. Like trust
But
your
it's still something where we didn't come from that place. Most people don't have that in them to be pushy salespeople and convince someone to buy a ketchup popsicle because they're just so good at it. Like
Exactly. Most people don't possess the rare aptitude to be a salesman. So this contradicts their earlier claim that if I can do it, anyone can do it.
we don't do that, and I don't really like. There's not something that interested us ever.
We were actually working. Jared was working a very cushy job. There was no problem with. We weren't looking to. Like I was kind of, I guess, looking. I was struggling a little with the corporate world. Jared was doing with it. He had a cushy job, you know, was manager of the marketing department in a big company and so capable, like to climb up the ranks in whatever, like Jared's just like very functional. I was not so functional, but I was also like finding I could have done other things. I was in fashion. I was doing styling freelance. I was making like health bowls and catering. I was doing like that. Anyways, a lot of other things.
Lots of different potential income sources that never really built to anything.
But we weren't.
I swear, man, you never get the runaround on what somebody does more than when you talk to a girl who's in an MLM. I swear, bro. I swear to God. When I was on my travels recently in the past 4 months, in the first 4 months of this year, when I was outside of the country, I met one girl on my travels and I asked her, "What do you do?" And she was like, she was from Russia. She was like, "Crypto and DJ." I don't even have a sound effect for this. Crypto and DJ. Just tell me, just say you're homeless.
You're broke. You're fucking broke.
Just say you never get as much babble as when you ask a girl in an MLM, "What do you do?" You cannot make this shit up, bro. Crypto and DJ. Okay, so nothing and basically nothing. Where's the one? I gotta get the bag.
I gotta get the bag.
Crypto DJ. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? You know? The thing is, I have a video coming out about this too, where the whole video is talking about what to do instead of MLM. And spoiler alert, the answer is literally anything else. Literally, even if you just sat at home, not having any hustle or grind at all, you would still be making more money than if you joined an MLM. The thing is, when people ask me, well, Marco, you know, you're just making money talking about these scams. And even if you are helping people, you're not actually helping because you're just creating mindless content for people to watch, but you're not giving people an alternative. This is actually a cope answer. They don't actually care about me giving an alternative. What they want is for me to tell them some other thing that is going to come close to the promises that the MLM people made them. And there isn't such a thing. If I was to sit here and tell you, no, that's not the way you're going to get rich quick, this is, I would also be lying to you, because there is no such thing as free money or getting rich quick. The only get rich quick scheme is selling a get rich quick scheme. That's the truth. It's a fundamental law of life. Money does not fall out of thin air, okay? There is no such thing. And furthermore, not that I even have to defend myself, but when people go to junior highs or high schools and they talk about the danger of alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or whatever, kids don't, the faculty isn't raising their hand saying, okay, well, speaker, what can we do instead of crack cocaine? What should we do instead of doing heroin? It's like, no, nothing. You're bringing people awareness to the dangers of something is doing a good in itself. You're preventing, it's prevention, right? You're bringing awareness and causing prevention from harm. That doesn't mean you have to offer them the replacement. You know? It's madness. Crypto and DJ. You know, I should create shirts that say crypto and DJ. Samu Saran, thank you for the dono. I missed that dono. Thank you. $3. And they said, that green powder with a heaping of microplastics, it just needs a touch of asbestos to make it a complete meal replacement. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, here we go. The alternative to bleeding money is stop bleeding money. Exactly. It's, you know, sunk cost fallacy. The sooner you leave the casino, the sooner you stop bleeding. Alex Medeiros, annoying ass comment. I love when people in my chat go out of their way to miss the point. And Alex Medeiros has done that. He says, what do you mean no such thing as getting rich? Plenty of ways to make money, just takes time. It isn't easy or risk-free. Well, that's actually not at all what I said. You can, thanks to the magic of the internet, you can actually rewind 1 minute and see what I said. There is no get rich quick scheme. I didn't say you can't get rich. I said there is no get rich quick.
Looking for this and like, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So just the fact is like, that is a valid point. That is something that people like, they're like, are you being genuine or not? And I get that. Even close friends have kind of, you know, approached me about that subject saying like, look, I'm kind of interested, but the fact that you're making money from this, like I'm a little insecure or whatever. And that's valid. And just, and then how that feeds into the whole anti-MLM thing is that people are used to being marketed to a certain way. Direct.
Finally, they're going to actually talk about the title of what the video said.
Does make people uncomfortable because they're like, are you actually my friend or do you want to just sell me something?
Very valid point. Now watch what she says. This was so creepy to me.
Okay, so that is just like a very dated, very kind of like black and white way to look at it, unfortunately. And I want to go through like all the top like anti-MLM claims.
Stigmas. And so with Taz, what was different with who I felt energy.
And actually brought Allison in.
Like you know, you have to use discernment. Like I felt an energy of authenticity and it was pure. And so I didn't question that she was, I knew she was making, I was happy she was making commission because she was giving me value. She was offering me guidance and she was sharing this amazing gift with me. So I was so happy that I was getting to support this other mother who.
And how is it really any different? Let's say if you started a restaurant or you had some gift basket business, if you were to ask your friend, like maybe next time you bring a gift, like, would you like to buy one of my baskets? You're selling something. It's your own project. It's something you're passionate about. It's really no.
You open a restaurant. Would you not invite your friends to come eat at your restaurant? I mean, you're profiting from it. Would it be like, oh, I don't want to go to your restaurant because you're making a profit? Like, wouldn't your friends do the opposite? Say, I'm going to come support your restaurant. Like,
yeah. So, but and that doesn't. If good, decent people, obviously they want to support.
Again, false equivalence, because there's a big difference between going to a restaurant where someone is going to serve you food, presumably good food, and you're going to get some value exchange for your money, and you know it's also going to support your friend who actually does own that restaurant. That's quite different than being sold some useless fucking powder or insurance or leggings or essential oil for an overpriced amount that doesn't actually do much for you, and you know that you're not actually supporting a small business owner, you're just prolonging the amount of time someone stays losing money in a pyramid scheme, because that's what MLM is. You're not actually a business owner. You don't own it.
Their friends are happy to
Well,
help
we have
them.
a lot of
But
people who that was their blockage. Like, wait, I don't know if you are, and that's the thing, people act like, they're almost like, wait a second, like, do you really like this stuff? Like, or you just sound like, I've had people even like, try to really break down like the veil, like, wait a
Actually good,
second,
yeah.
like, you really like it? And it's like, would I be sharing something so passionate? Like, for me, I'm almost like, I'm taken aback because I'm like, for people who know me, like, I'm a very, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm very authentic and I'm very raw and real. I don't know how not to be. So when someone questions that in me, I'm a
Nothing more authentic than someone telling you I'm very authentic.
bit, and not everyone knows me, but for the people who know me, it was always like a little bit jarring. Like, you think I would be like this devoted to something that I don't believe in, or that I would like share with people and
insulting,
hate
but a lot of
myself?
people get that same reaction too. So don't, it's not unique to you.
Well, I think what gave network marketing a bad name was all of these like gimmicky sales.
Network marketing getting a bad name. Let's glaze over the fact that network marketing is itself a fake name. You are not marketing anything to a network. You are exploiting your own network to recruit them into a scam. That is not marketing. Calling it network marketing is a complete instance of doublespeak. It's like when the United States government says we don't torture people, but we use enhanced interrogation. We didn't bomb that country. We serviced the target. Children didn't die in the drone strike. There was just collateral damage. We didn't bomb this country. We just initiated a preemptive counterattack. I didn't cheat on my boyfriend. I just made out with that guy. On and on and on. This is exactly the same thing. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's multi-level marketing. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's network marketing. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's direct selling. These people have created an entire encyclopedia of doublespeak when it comes to talking about their business, which of course is not even a business at all.
Yeah.
Pitches and sort of it's fake because you're given a script. Hey, hun, like I know because I received all these scripts and very inauthentic approaches that I think really also added to the why this industry has been shrouded in such like.
And also we're in nutrition, and in this, the space has become polluted with a lot of inferior products and companies that just recruit and they sell expensive starter kits and things like that.
Literally this company,
Jumping on the bandwagon now.
Herbalife, for
Yeah.
instance, but we're not here to rag on other ones.
Herbalife, for instance.
God bless them. They're the top for a reason. So it's like one thing that it's scary is because that landscape, that space is, has so many people in it. It's the same thing as like a capitalist space. You can't say all companies, all corporations are evil pyramid schemes, because there are good ones. There are ones that, genuinely help people. They give their profits to good causes.
Well, they're more pyramid than, and that's like something
So that's
else.
why,
that-
yeah.
They're more pyramid. We'll get to that in a sec. Also, MLM is fraud in the chat. Glenn says the restaurant is not telling people they can make you rich. Also, if you go to your friend's restaurant, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're not going to tell you, hey, wouldn't you like to open your own restaurant? Just be recruited under me and pay the sign-up fee, and you can have your own restaurant. And then you can recruit 5 people to have restaurants under you.
Understand.
So, okay. So one of the top, so look, I do a lot of research. I use ChatGPT to break down what are the top anti-MLM concerns. Okay. And it's a good aggregate. Like ChatGPT isn't that creative, but it's very good at compiling, summarizing, and it's spot on with this. So number one is exploitative practices. So they argue, this is anti-MLM people argue that MLM companies often exploit individuals by requiring them to purchase expensive starter kits or inventory with promises of high returns, leading to financial losses for many participants. So I'll just bring that up so you can see that I'm talking about. So number one here, exploited. So people are thinking that like they're skeptical. They're like, oh, you have to buy into it, right? They want to recruit you, right? It's all about recruit. And you hear that from Herbalife a lot. They focus number one, recruiting, because there is a charge. They charge, I think, 100, 200, 300 bucks just for the business, just to be able to share it.
And the reason they need people in to selling it is because they're not product focused. If they were just getting people in as happy customers, they wouldn't be having as many people sharing
Yeah.
it.
So Pebbles wants to get in on the action here. Pebs. So that is a valid concern, and that is why we went for Purium, because there was no starter kit charge. It was free. If you like the products, if you enjoy the food.
They're also customer focused.
You
We
get
have
this
two,
for free.
like our program, I guess, is like, because we are an affiliate marketing system paired with a multi-level pay plan. So we have two approaches. There's people who just do it with customers. We have health specialists, nutritionists who really just make customer dollars. They don't interested in building. So we have that avenue.
And you can do.
But this is a lie. We literally looked at the compensation plan last stream and showed how your own purchases contribute to your PV or personal volume, which contributes to your overall points and your overall rank and how much commission you earn and etc. So, wow,
One
thank you,
son just
Addison.
dropped a bag 40 Canadian dollars and 91 cents. That's why we went for pyramid.
Thank you, Addison. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Yeah, that's why I went for the pyramid. Even if you're not paying a fee to join, you're still buying the starter kits. You're still buying the kits to contribute to your overall volume. So it's still costing you money. Whether the money is for a fee to join or for the starter kit makes little difference. The company is still receiving revenue by either giving you the opportunity to join, aka nothing, or processed powder in a bag, which is basically nothing. So sort of just a nonsense point here. LOL. Duh, like totally in the chat says, you know how you sit down to eat at Applebee's and the waiters tell you can get rich selling food to the other people sitting in Applebee's? Exactly. It's just like a restaurant, guys. It's so obvious they cannot wait for the other to finish talking so they can interject. I know. It's so unorganized. Oh, yes, Silent Jane. Exactly what I said. Just because it's no startup fee doesn't mean you don't have to buy tons of product at some point. Exactly. Psychopathic minds do excel at sales for sure, but they need to believe that sustainability is the key. They don't just dial the guy next to you for their money. Yeah. I think Danny Boy says, Marco, you would own this couple. I mean, let's be real. Of all the excuses that this guy sent to me in the Instagram voice memos, we know the real reason is because he saw the breakdown I did of Purium's compensation plan, and he realizes I would have absolutely eviscerated him in any sort of debate where he's trying to defend the Purium opportunity. The numbers don't lie. These were numbers Purium themselves published, and I took a magnifying glass to it on the last stream and showed how it was all lies. And, you know, it is what it is. Appreciate you, Alex. Thank you. Well,
fairly well just with customers. You don't necessarily need to recruit and build
No,
a
actually
team,
it
but
happens organically because half
yeah.
the customers want to, they actually,
5th super chat for Alex. Somebody got to gift him a membership for that. Shout out to Alex. Thank you.
they come reaching out. I have people under me who are nutritionists who don't focus on the business side, but their customers will reach out to me and be like, okay, I need to share this. So they like people, it's just the natural progression. Once
What up, Johnny Azul? What up, William Ho? Restaurants don't tell you to open other restaurants just so they have more competition. Exactly. I want to see them talk over each other live with Marco. That'd be so funny.
experience something you love, you're like, how do I get my own code
Yeah,
and share this?
so the nature of it, if they are focused on just recruiting and the product sucks at its core, or there is no product, yeah, that's a scheme. That is a valid concern. Absolutely. So if I would be wary of that, and that's why we went with this one, because it was included, because it's encouraged that you love this product so much that you're naturally organically going to talk about it sincerely. So that's great. And yeah, I think that's actually a valid concern, but they're not all like that. That's like,
This is just a complete lie. Oh yeah, well we're just customers who really love it. That's why it's not deceptive. It's like, no, it's still deceptive. If you're pitching this as a business opportunity, telling people they can make money, fuck if you like the product or not. And fuck if the product is good or not, like I said earlier.
I mean, all companies are greedy and
All
and
restaurants do
want to
this thing,
Yeah,
like,
it's
you know,
not
yeah.
right. It's just not accurate. Okay. So number 2,
He sure debunked that first point.
let's see. Okay, well, just leading to financial losses for many parties. So the idea that you lose money too, okay, like
I love
that's a
this.
big concern. Like anti-MLM people, especially on Reddit, they're always just like, careful. Like my cousin lost all their money. They bought them. They kept buying and buying. And okay, that's if you're like stockpiling inventory, which some certain ones do that, which is ridiculous. Like that idea that you have like a garage full of product that's stressing you out to sell. F that. Like that is
Or let me
not.
just
That's,
give another perspective too, which was important to know, because this is a difference in mindset from going as an employee into being an entrepreneur. And so
right.
we
You're
had to
gonna lose
shift
money at the
the
beginning.
expectations because that's not realistic. People, when they start their businesses, a regular, like, you know, if you're going to open a brick and mortar or start any business, you're going to be investing a lot of money, right? You're going to be, no matter what profession you're going to be going to, some people have to invest in school to get their trade, to get their license, to get this and that. There's all these like levels
It's a
before
long,
they open.
expensive road.
A
to
very
building a
expensive road.
business,
And
yeah.
even if you're just starting like a store from scratch or a restaurant, that's a huge upfront investment, which you're like scrambling for years to reclaim before you start entering into profit. Okay. So anything you start as an entrepreneur, you have to lower your expectation of return
Especially at the
at the
beginning.
beginning, okay? Because beginning is building stages. Sometimes it's it's a slow build. What happens? Why we see people? Because now we've been in this industry almost 6 years, and we've seen people make so much money so fast. We've seen people make a lot of money over a long period of time. We've seen some people make no money for a long time and then hit a big. Then we've seen people who burn out and they make no money and then they leave, and then they're like, they're probably going to be the ones who turn into haters because they're going to say, I gave so much and it didn't return because they gave up. They quit too fast. We have someone who did it for 6 months.
Exactly. This is what it always amounts to. There is no winning with these people. This is what I talk about when I say that MLM, just like all cults, has the propensity to turn an otherwise normal, sane, rational person into a sociopath, someone who becomes antisocial because of their surroundings and their experience. This is one of the earliest, most fundamental things, lies, deceptions that they will tell you in MLM. Go to any MLM meeting. Nathan even did this in the very first ACN pitch that I went to back in that ACN video in 2020 that I released in 2020. This guy talks about how, yeah, some people might tell you, oh, I had a friend who did ACN and he didn't make any money. Well, I have a friend who got a gym membership, but he's still fat. Does that mean the gym doesn't work? This is a false equivalence. The gym, success in the gym, fitness, actually is dictated by your effort, your nutrition, your workouts.
Jose Kabuko donated 10 Canadian dollars. Wagwan.
Thank you, Jose. Wagwan to you. Appreciate you. MLM, regardless of how you do it, is a mathematically impossible endless chain scheme where you are predetermined to lose money unless you deceive people in mass to such a degree that you beat the impossible odds and rise to the top, in which case you will only be successful because you have victimized other people. And what they tell you from day one is that if you fail, it's your fault. This lie is something that disempowers so many people from speaking out after they have been scammed by an MLM, after they have lost their money in one of these pyramid schemes, is they think this is true because they've been told from day one, from the first opportunity call or pitch meeting, that if they fail, it's their fault. Well, people didn't try hard enough. No, it's not true. It's a lie. These people that you're seeing on the screen are lying.
And said, her story is now ended, right? She's like, it didn't work for me. That gets to be her story. But I know because I watched her, she was doing it for 6 months, wasn't coming to calls, wasn't doing the right,
Wasn't leaning in.
wasn't learning, because it's a journey to learn your groove, to learn your.
And you have to fail. You have to like learn on your feet. It's not just like studying to do something. It's like actually going out there and doing it, which is great. It's the best way to learn.
People are addicted.
Insane. Thank you, username. Appreciate you. Finish the book, Marco. Never stop reading. And I appreciate you fighting the good fight. Thank you so much. That means more to me than you know. And yes, I will finish the book. I've been working on it. I suck at just sitting down to read, but I have a lot of books I got to get through, and I've been working on it. People join to get rich, not for the product. Exactly. MLM is fraud says, as Bill Britt said many times, I almost quit this business because of the price of the toothpaste. Yeah. There's no excuse to these people that will be acceptable for why you quit, other than you're a quitter. These people have been fed the lie that winners never quit and quitters never win. Bit my tongue so hard. This statement would be true if it was applied to something where your effort actually was the determinant in your success, if it was the determining factor in how successful you were. That is not the case with MLM. It is a scam.
To that hours to dollars,
It's just programmed in. Like they think like, okay, I put in 100 hours into my MLM business this week. How come I'm not making X amount, right? Because it doesn't work like that. There is that initial investment.
We had to learn the mindset. Okay, we had to actually,
What's the solution for putting in 100 hours and not getting any money? Mindset. Again, these people galvanize one point of nonsense with 5 other points of nonsense. There's a great saying. I'm going to look right now to see if I can find who said this saying. If you tell a lie, you must tell 1,000 more to keep it going. I might be butchering it. when one tells a lie, you have to tell 1,000 more to keep to sustain it, something like that. I forget. I don't know who said it, but that's exactly what we see time and again with people who are in MLM. They lie, they lie, they lie, they deflect, they condescend, they use ad hominem personal attacks, they make excuses, they cover lies with lies. It's all mind games. You can't even wrap your head around it. If I was to have debated these people, it would have just been a gobbledygook fest. That's all it would have been. Spec says, who would want to do that? You can make a little, you can make a lot, you can make a medium amount. Why would you want your job to not be consistent at all? Exactly. Exactly. If you put in X amount of hours, you should get paid. The fact you have to explain that your job is not a scam is most likely a scam. Exactly. What up, Susie? Bad Dog, what up? MLM is like the lotto. You can try your hardest, play and pay every day, but your effort doesn't matter when the system is set up for almost everyone to fail. Exactly. Wagwan Jose, thank you again for the dono. Who want to gift some memberships to the audience? I want to see that chat turn green, bro. For real. I want to see the usernames in the chat turn green. Get some people access to the new videos early. Get people get new people access to the stream custom emojis that only members get. One of the members, go ahead, put some of those emojis in the chat so that the plebs can see what they're missing out on, you know?
I think the book, the 4-year career really helped us with our understanding the perspective of how this business grows. Also, this quote that successful entrepreneurs, I don't know if it's I think all entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs will work harder than most for less to earn way more than most for whatever that expression. I'm gonna butcher it, but more. Just that I had to learn that this is something that most people don't get those results because they're not willing to put in that beginning initial work investment in themselves and their mindset and their personal development and learning about whatever, and then to be able to see, to that return where they start to get to a point where now we're at, where we are, I think it was a few years ago, we hit that point where we're working way less than what we're, hours to dollars could ever make. So
yeah, exactly. It pivots to, and then there is a lot of quitting happening. There's a low success rate with MLM.
It's easy to quit. No one is, no one's your boss. It's not a big investment, no loss. You're just easy to walk away.
There's not a lot of stake in the game. So yeah, they leave. And a lot of these anti-MLM people on YouTube and stuff like that, they just quit. They tried it.
Oh, it was Joseph Goebbels who said it, LOL. I thought that the Google result that I saw was incorrect, but I guess it was Joseph Goebbels.
They got scared off, spooked by some people hating on them, and then they quit. And then
some of them were, still stuck in a victim mindset. And so someone said one thing.
They tried, they failed, victim mindset. I mean, there's nothing you could say to these people. And then when someone like me comes along who was never in an MLM, but lost a friend to it and has seen firsthand the way it can warp someone's mind and change someone into an absolute MLM zombie who's obsessed only with their business, they'll say, oh yeah, well, I just have an axe to grind because it's a personal thing for me because of my best friend. And he's just being a baby because he lost his best friend. What could I say to you people? What could I say to you people? You don't hear logical arguments. You always are going to paint the narrative and spin it to make the person, a non-credible opinion, because you're going to say that they have some personal axe to grind. Oh, well, you tried it and you failed. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you were never in it. Or you're only saying bad things about it because your friend had a bad experience. A mental fortress of excuses.
Maybe they're upline, or, they had this kind of responsibility on someone else to make it work for them. And
it's not an entrepreneur. You don't think like that. If you want to make passive income, if you want to,
entrepreneurs have to become bulletproof. Yeah,
it's different. So that idea, if anyone ever lost money, I'm sorry, that's unfortunate. But as soon as you're spending more than you're making, then yeah, the red flag should go up, because the investments that you're
spending more sometimes. Okay, fine.
Okay, so the investments that
he got so pissed.
Making in the beginning are smart. You're buying a professional Zoom account, okay, so you can take more meetings, you can schedule bookings, maybe investing in website, all these tools that help.
If stomping on each other's words was an MLM, these people would be the top of the pyramid. Hilarious.
in all these other ways, right? It's not just like in the investing in one thing, right? These are personal development tools, social skills that are going to help you build whatever you're passionate about as well. And it helps, it
It's an
complements
investment.
that.
It's not an
Yeah.
expense. And I think that's what people need to understand is even the food at the beginning. Some people are, of course, they're buying more than they're earning. That was my initial goal, was to be able to
Just pay off for the
have
food.
break even. I was like, that would be awesome. I
Yeah.
get free food.
And wouldn't that be great for so many things that you buy? Wouldn't it be awesome? Like the fruit that you're buying at store
Just make
things.
that your
Like,
goal. Like it's easy.
like imagine the company.
I love this. It's not an expense, it's an investment. Well, who gives a fuck? This is something I've heard before too. It's like, oh, well, it's a tax write-off, isn't it? Who cares if it's a tax write-off if you're still losing money at the end of the year? If you made $1 million, then you could brag to me about your tax write-offs. But if you're negative $20,000 for the year, don't talk to me about how it's just a tax write-off and I'm grinding and I'm going to get there. It's like, no, you put in X amount of hours. The amount of money you've made doesn't correlate. It's a lie. You've been scammed. Admit it.
Compensated you every time you bought it or shared it, that it ended up free. It's really cool.
We just helped
It's just-
someone
people don't
make
get it.
2 orders and her package is paid. She got the money back because, right away. And so if, we help people to like whatever their goals are financially, it's quite easy at the beginning to just get your products paid for. So we just don't want people, but it's also normal to invest sometimes more than like you're investing in your health. So depending on where you are in your healing journey, you may need to be flooding your cells way more than, let's say, a core.
You can't write off more taxes than you owe. Exactly.
And then of course be investing in your health because you are the product. Like when I invested in my hair, skin, and nails, I remember very vividly, like I couldn't afford the bigger pack, but I went for it. I went for the hair, skin, and nails because I was like, this is going to, if this works for me, this is going to help me make money. So I looked at every product as something that I was going to take to be an example of. So I stopped looking at it as an expense. I saw it as a business investment in my health, even like.
Yeah, and we get the concern that you'll be losing money, but if you had a grasp of what the potential could be of this business, like how much you could be earning passively, it's so worth it because any other business that could create that, would require thousands and thousands, $100,000 worth of investment and a lot more time and energy to reach this potential. I think that's why MLM maybe has that kind of negative outlook because people are like, it's a quick get rich quick thing, or but it's basically you get rich in the same amount of time. It's just less investment.
Deceptive earnings claim.
Beginning, which if you're smart with it and you take clues from successful people, you'll see how to build it for
It's
yourself.
relative. I mean,
Does that make any sense to any of you watching this? You'll get what he just said. You'll get rich in the same amount of time. It's just cheaper to start. Let's listen again to exactly what he said.
Which if you're smart with it and you take clues from successful.
Sorry.
It's a quick get rich quick thing, or but it's basically you get rich in the same amount of time. It's just less investment.
You get rich in the same amount of time. It's just less investment. If that was truly the case, wouldn't everyone be doing this? If it worked, if the plan worked, wouldn't everyone be doing it? They tell you anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And then they tell you, well, it's not for everyone. But why is it not for everyone? If everyone can do it and you can get rich in the same amount of time, but it's cheaper to start and it's all these benefits and it's so magical and amazing, and the product is going to help you lose weight and get off your meds, wouldn't everyone be doing it? Let's take it a step further. If the plan of MLM worked, as we know, every MLM is essentially the same, just with a different disguise. Some wear the disguise of an essential oil direct sales company. Some wear the disguise of a processed powder in a plastic bag direct sales company. But they are all fundamentally the same. They all operate using the endless chain. And this is evident even in the way these people talk and promote the opportunity and the doublespeak they use and the false equivalences they use. If it worked, why would there even need to be more than one MLM company? Amway is the first one. If Amway worked the way they say it does, if it's been around for so long, if it has so many people that have been in it and left it, if it worked though, why would there ever need to be Herbalife? Why would there ever need to be Purium? Why would there ever need to be Monat? If Amway worked, wouldn't everyone in the world have already been in Amway long ago? Wouldn't we all just be Amway distributors? No more doctors, no more teachers, no more firefighters, no more bus drivers, no more banks, no more grocery stores. Everyone would be in Amway if it worked, right? This is what they say. They say it works. They say if you can just recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people, all your dreams will come true. But if it was true, why hasn't it happened yet? This is something that the people who defend MLM try so hard to purposely not understand because they think it's like a zinger response. When I was speaking at the conference, there was some guy in the chat who was saying, critically of the people speaking at the conference, he was saying, oh, everybody's hating on the 5, recruit 5, recruit 5. But if that was true, that it would deplete the population of the earth within 13 cycles, why hasn't it happened yet? And they think, booyah, got him. And they sit there and they go, oh, Jesus Christ has been recruiting for 2,000 years and everybody's not a Christian. And they have these little clever responses. This is a purposeful attempt to miss the point. The point is that if it worked the way they say it does, everyone would have been recruited by now. The fact that everyone hasn't been recruited by now is proof that the unlimited income promise of recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people is a lie.
The beginning, which, you know, if you're smart with it and you take clues from successful people, you'll see how to build it for
Quick is
yourself.
relative. I mean, if you can get rich in 4 years, sure beats not getting rich, like basically getting by for 40 years of working, so.
Yeah, not worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, so pyramid scheme allegations. The pyramid scheme. So one of our other videos is really popular. Maybe I'll just search that. So I think if you search purium, like pyramid scheme or
We
pyramid
did
MLM.
two. We did one when we first
Yeah,
started.
so look, this was our initial video, okay, from 4 years ago. And then this anti-MLMer is fact checking us.
She made us
and-
famous.
Yeah.
I think
So
we got
thanks,
a lot of
thanks,
views.
Meg.
She made us famous. 849 views. LOL.
He mumbles and we watched it and she's like, I don't know, she's off about most of it, but she's basically concerned is like, how could these people in a pyramid scheme be talking about if it's a pyramid scheme? Like, it doesn't make sense. But no, I think if you
Well, I think
actually
it's
like,
important if you're in it, like whatever, people can only talk from experience, and
and this is
living
your
it,
general
so.
anti-MLMer right here. It's usually women who have tried and failed at it. There's some successful. This one, why I quit the MLM industry at the top. Ooh, that's exciting. So basically they're quitters who are making an industry, they're profiting off an industry that they're shitting on. So
Yeah.
it's really
An angry population.
interesting dynamic, but they have some valid concerns, and that's why we're talking today. So the allegations: critics often liken MLMs to pyramid schemes, where the primary focus is on recruiting new members rather than selling actual products or services. This recruitment-focused model can lead to a saturation of the market and financial losses for those at the bottom of the pyramid. So, like, it's a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme is like there's no product or service. You're just recruiting people. They all
Not true. Already, ignore the rest of whatever he's about to say. That is not true. More than 30 companies have been shut down by the FTC for being pyramid schemes. All of them have products. All of them had products. Vima is a great example. Vima, BK Borrego was the CEO. Alex Morton was their #1 recruiter. It was a pyramid scheme. It was shut down for being a pyramid scheme. They had products. They had Vima Verve. They had the shake. They had the orange cans with the energy drink inside. They had a product. It was still a pyramid scheme. I hate when I hear this because even the people pushing the pyramid schemes know that that this statement isn't true, and they all still fucking insist on saying it. An MLM, a pyramid scheme can still have a product. Just because it has a product doesn't mean it's not a pyramid scheme. And it doesn't matter how long someone has been in MLM. I've shown in my videos before people who have been in MLM 20 years saying this. No, it is not true.
in, and there's people getting effed over at the bottom, people profiting at the top. Like that does
No
exist.
product, yeah.
That's like the that those things happen. People go to jail for them. They're highly illegal, and for that reason, there's laws in place. People should know what they're getting into. They should be protected. You know, there should be like legal action that
And there
you can
is. If
proceed.
it wasn't a scheme, it would be shut down. Like they do get.
Yeah, the FTC
We've been
who's
around
responsible for that.
over 20 years, and there's
There should be regulation, transparency, and consumer awareness. Absolutely.
Can I just tell you guys something? The FTC has a staff of between 1,200 and 1,300 people. You can go watch the recent interviews that FTC chairwoman Lena Khan recently did on shows like Jon Stewart. Actually, shout out to Lena Khan. I'm very critical of the FTC. I actually like Lena Khan. I actually like some of the things that she's doing. You know, she sued Amazon for unfair business practices. She's trying to like break up these monopolies. I actually rock with Lena Khan. I think she's doing good things. However, the FTC is to blame for propping up the big lie of MLM. Somebody recently, and I'm going to be talking about this in a new video I have, where I talk about who's to blame for MLM, who's to blame for the problem, the continuing problem of MLMs scamming millions of people every single year. And obviously, one of the parties I have to talk about is the FTC. People often have tried to get me to, you know, pipe down when it comes to criticizing the FTC, because they want me to show empathy and be like, oh, you know, they're a small organization. They only have, 1,200, 1,300 people. They're responsible for all of trade that happens in the United States. There's 30 million or 300 million people in the United States. It's not an easy job, blah, blah, blah. They have limited resources, etc. True. But there's a big but here. The FTC has contributed to the big lie of MLM by declaring that multi-level marketing itself is a legitimate business practice. They say on their website that some MLMs are pyramid schemes, but that's about all of the help they give you as a consumer. It would take zero effort for the FTC to at least unofficial that statement. At least the FTC could play stupid. At least they could say, you know what? We no longer stand by the declaration that MLM is by default a legitimate or legal or lawful business practice. They could just say, we don't know. They could just say, we don't know. They could just say they're ignorant. We don't know. But the fact that they have said that there is such a thing as a legitimate MLM, they just won't name one. And every MLM that you look at, you'll find the same red flags that they list on their own website, the FTC, that describe what an illegal pyramid scheme is. And yet we're supposed to believe in this mythical unicorn of the legitimate MLM. Well, I'm sorry. I don't believe that. Prove it to me. Name one. Show me. Muddying the waters further is the fact that not so many months ago, the FTC, in a lawsuit against a company called Neora, who they accused of being an illegal pyramid scheme, who they initiated a lawsuit against after years of investigation and years of litigation, lost the case. The judge determined that Neora wasn't an illegal pyramid scheme. So this is how supposedly clueless or corrupt the FTC is that they won't tell you a company that is a legitimate MLM. And even in the case of Neora, when they have outrightly named an MLM as being an illegal pyramid scheme, they lose the case. So we as consumers have to sit here and reconcile this. Either the FTC actually doesn't know what a pyramid scheme is, or they have made the language and rules around it so vague that it's actually come back around to bite them in the ass, where because their definition of what a pyramid scheme is so vague that they can't even argue their own case of what a pyramid scheme is. And this is what happened in the Neora case, is the judge basically said, look, Neora has shown to do basically the same thing as every other MLM who you say is legitimate. So either you're going to say every other MLM is a pyramid scheme, or this one isn't a pyramid scheme. And for the FTC to admit that every MLM is a pyramid scheme would be a revelation of such cataclysmic proportions that it would cause so much brain melt. It would be the biggest scandal in human history, because it would mean that the people who are supposed to be protecting us have allowed this conspiracy to go on for 6 decades without doing anything about it. And that's exactly what has happened. So, this is why, in my newest video I put out on my channel called Proof Every MLM is a Scam, the FTC had sent these letters to the Direct Selling Association, trying to clarify and tighten up the language on what makes a company an illegal pyramid scheme. And it's like they're trying to do this piecemeal approach to solving the MLM problem that allows them to make gradual changes that will choke the industry out and make it unviable for the people who run them, without ever actually having to declare outrightly that they were all scams to begin with. It would raise too many questions. Why didn't the previous chairperson of the FTC do something about it? How come the previous chairperson of the FTC before them went on to be, an advisor at the board of Herbalife, and on and on and on? So it's just, again, lies galvanized with more lies and more lies and more lies and more lies. That's what you find everywhere you turn. So, sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there, but basically, surprise, what Jared is saying here is another lie. MLMs can be scams even if they have products. Sorry, MLMs can be pyramid schemes even if they have products. A company that has products can be a pyramid scheme regardless. And you already know my opinion on MLMs. They are pyramid schemes.
Absolutely. That is 100%. But that is also why we take heart when people accuse us of being in some kind of pyramid scheme when it's really not. The idea that there's someone at the top of Purium making all this money, like it's false. Like there's for a fact that 100 people in the business make more than the people at the top. So it's not a pyramid. Like,
first of all, it's irrelevant. Even if that was true, that the people down here are making more than the people up here, that doesn't exclude it from the possibility of being a pyramid scheme. Second of all, again, this is another lie. We literally analyzed in depth the compensation plan of Purium on the last stream and saw that 0.01% even make it to the top ranks where people are making this fantastical passive income, retirement level income, getting rich that they are talking about in this video here. It's simply a lie.
And the founders themselves, the founder himself. So,
and the irony of like,
yeah, Sila Jane, one of my favorite quotes in the history of all MLM was when Edith Ramirez, the former chairwoman of the FTC, said about Herbalife after their $200 million settlement that they were not determined not to have been a pyramid scheme.
Live from
Good news, everyone. Your government hates you and you're being fucked.
People who work in businesses where there's this corporate ladder to climb, accusing MLM people of being in a pyramid, it doesn't make sense. Like that is the real
there's literally
CEO executive devices.
Yeah.
That's the pyramid structure. And the reason that MLMs get labeled like that is because corporations, mainstream media, they do not profit from direct selling. It's a direct threat to their profit model. So you'll never hear anything positive about MLM, network marketing, social selling in mainstream media. They shit all over it.
Or in the academic world. I know my father was head of finance at McGill, which, is a very big school. And I know the approach is that when they're studying, when they talk about business models, MLM is talked about as like the bottom of the barrel in the business finance world. Like it's like looked at as
car salesman,
yeah,
greasy, like buy two get one free, and just like trashy kind of stuff.
Where they should be actually exposing students to it because it can really help them. I mean, of course, with paired with the right company, can truly help them on a health, but also building wealth. And it breaks my heart that people in high positions of business discourage people from it's such a great for young people. It's an amazing business school. Like this is free business school. When I stumbled into these meetings and the kind of trainings we get,
it teaches you how to present something, how to talk to people, how to maximize the amount of time you're doing, how to make a schedule, like all these like practical business skills that I didn't really learn in school. I had to go through various jobs to get these.
You studied economics.
Yeah,
you didn't learn that.
Like I learned some team building stuff or whatever, but not.
Okay, a couple of things here. First of all, the corporate world, that's the real pyramid scheme. I've dissected this and debunked this 1,000 times before. In a traditional corporate structure where there's the CEO and then the manager and then the assistant manager and whatever, that's not a pyramid scheme because the money is being distributed out to the people who work. The people who work are making money for the hours they put in. Regardless of how well the company's stock is doing, those people will still get a paycheck. Those people who are at the janitor level or the cashier level or the assistant manager level, whatever, do not move up by recruiting more people so that they can get to the next rank. The cashier does not become the assistant manager because he recruited 3 other cashiers who bought in to be a cashier at Walmart and then every month they purchased goods from Walmart. No, if you worked at Walmart, you wouldn't ever have to buy anything from Walmart to work there. You also wouldn't ever have to pay to work there. You also wouldn't have to recruit anyone else ever to work there in order to increase the amount of money you were getting paid per hour or the bonuses or whatever. So there's so many things that don't line up that make this completely nonsensical. And I've talked about it before. They have so many of these different excuses. Just because you can draw something in a hierarchical structure does not mean it's a pyramid scheme. The royal family is a hierarchy. There's the king, there's the prince, the princess, the the grandchildren. Does that mean that the royal family is a pyramid scheme? No. Just because something has a hierarchy doesn't make it a pyramid scheme just because you could draw it on paper as a pyramid. This is yet another false equivalence visual language, trick that they use to try to confuse you. You don't become an uncle because you recruited 3 more brothers. You don't become a father because you recruited another uncle. You don't become a and on and on and on. This is just fucking nonsense.
In an accelerated, amplified way that it did with Purium, and in a good MLM will, tap into what you're good at, what you're exceptional at, and then help encourage that growth by supplementing it with an income, by being like, okay, we know you also love these other things. Why not have an income stream coming in to fuel your creativity, to fuel what you're passionate about?
Every single person has gifts. And I knew I wanted to help people. Like I knew that my heart was to help. And so I went to study psychology.
I hope they watch this, man. You studied psychology? Wake up, Allison! I know you're in there.
We were just learning like history about psychologists, it was just not practical helping people. And I really failed miserably at kind of the school of that. And then I was like, okay, I'll go directly to like social work to help people who, are in need. I can actually go on the street, like on the ground level and help people. And whoa, when I did my, field work on that, I realized how much red tape there was about actually helping people. Then I went to go work with students with learning disabilities and autism on the spectrum. And what I got to see from that was how much it was, it didn't align with me because it was teaching kids how to be normal and like function. And so I was not able to help people in my gifts, in all the avenues that I seek to get into a position to be able to help people. Like it was just, there was barriers at every turn. And whereas here, in what I love about our, and I don't think it's particular to just Purium, but Purium is the only example I know. And it really like hugely satisfies it, but it gave me an opportunity to work with people like one-on-one and truly get to show them systems and structure and tools that have a huge difference in their life. And it was way more like I got to step into what I've always wanted to do that the system blocked me from, which is helping thousands and thousands of people. So and Jared is an editor, he has so much creativity and skills around making and he was in marketing and advertisement and commercials. And it's like, here he gets to use like what I see it as, if imagine you were just given this project, like here is a blank slate of just the highest quality food. It's up to you, whoever you are, whether you're in marketing, fashion, helping people in, healers, whatever, to find your special gift and find a way to share it with your people, like whoever your niche is. So
yeah, so imagine the most fun project at school, but you're actually getting paid for it. So that's how we went into it, and that's why it's fun.
School, yeah. So if you look at it as school too, it takes the pressure off of needing to, right away make money when you see the investment that we're putting in. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 is false income claims. So anti-MLM advocates highlight the prevalence of misleading income claims
We're not even allowed to do that.
MLM reps, which often exaggerate the earning potential and downplay the financial risks associated. So like our income claims are online. Go to the compensation plan. You'll see what people typically earn. And maybe I'll bring it up just so you could see. We have nothing really to hide.
LOL, this is going to be ironic.
And the companies that are shady, who make exaggerated claims, they usually get nailed by the FTC.
They are on it. The FTC, I've already gotten a warning from
you're not allowed to do that.
And I really was so excited when I first got my check and I wanted to share it. And I was told I had to take it down right away. So
look, this is the Purium.
Again, the FTC has a staff of between 1,200 and 1,300 people, and they're responsible for monitoring not only the hundreds of MLM companies there are, but also, big tech, car manufacturers, Apple, Amazon, like everything. And I actually, at the conference, I made the suggestion that the FTC actually shouldn't be the regulatory body responsible for MLM, and that actually the FTC should just defer every MLM investigation to the Department of Justice for a couple reasons. One, the Federal Trade Commission is responsible for dealing with trade, commerce, business. MLM is not business. MLM is not an industry. MLM is a scam. MLM means pyramid scheme. And pyramid schemes are not businesses. Scams cannot be regulated because they are inherently built on deception and fraud. And there is no right way to do fraud. Just like it would be ridiculous to suggest that we could regulate theft or murder. The words theft and murder equate to crime. They mean doing something dishonest and immoral and harmful. How could you do it in a right way? It's a great oxymoron. Second of all, the FTC can only bring a civil case. meaning the FTC can't put someone in jail. Think about that. Think of all the evil fucking psychopaths that you have witnessed from watching anti-MLM content and seeing the characters, the people like Nathan, like Alex Morton, like people's names I can't say for different reasons right now. Think of all the people, think of maybe even people you have known in your own life who just gave you the heebie-jeebies because they were some high-level promoter of some MLM and they just fucking gave you, Patrick Bateman, American Psycho vibes. Think of all the psychopaths that MLM has enabled to perpetuate harm to so many, many, many people, and none of them will ever go to jail. How does that make you feel? It angers me to no end. It boils my blood to think that Alex Morton will never see the inside of a jail cell. That absolutely breaks my heart. Because Alex Morton, in my opinion, is one of the worst people who has ever lived in terms of the harm that he has done to so many thousands and thousands of people, especially at his relatively young age. If he continues down this path of pushing MLM and doing it the way he's been doing it for over a decade now, I think the damage toll, the financial and emotional and mental calamity that he will have caused by the time he's 70 years old is equivalent to some of the worst people in human history, warlords, drug kingpins, etc., dictators. I really think that it's at that level because this is a person who goes on stage and speaks at conventions where he spews lies and manipulation to thousands of people at a time. And he's been doing it for over 10 years. And to think that he will never go to jail, it doesn't sit right with me. So the FTC can't even bring true justice. Fines. Fines. How much money are you going to fine a company that makes billions of dollars every single year from scamming? There was a great quote that I heard once that said, if the punishment for a certain crime is a fine, then it's only illegal for poor people. Herbalife paid a $200 million settlement in 2016. That was it. It was a one and done. They had already been operating for decades by that point. They had already made billions and billions of dollars. They went on afterwards to make billions and billions of dollars. For them, this is like, okay, shitty, but this is broken eggs. This is the cost of doing business. It's breakage, You ever seen Scarface? When Tony Montana's talking about how, they lose every 2 out of 10 truckloads of cocaine to, breakage. It's, the borders. They lose a couple trucks here and there. It's just the cost of doing business, The truck driver gets caught at a truck stop and you have to, pay for his legal fees. Oh, it's breakage. $200 million settlement. Oh, we've made how many billion? Oh, okay. Breakage. Fuck it. They were not determined not to have been a pyramid scheme.
Comp plan from we have a 2023, but it's basically
LOL, this is the exact same one I showed on my stream last week.
the same. So it's showing you like average weekly commissions earned, and it's very disparate. Like there's a big difference between someone at the bottom and the top, obviously, because this is someone who's committed a lot of time. But you could see around this executive rank, there's people who can make $6,000 a month just with customers. They don't have a team, they're not recruiting, they don't have sales reps. And that's pretty good, I would say for someone.
This average, by the way, is so accurate. Like this is what we were earning at all these different ranks.
And yeah, someone's like, okay,
so accurate.
Like $15 a month, like why bother? It's not even paying for my products or whatever. But
LOL, and then you find out that 50% of all brand partners are earning less than $10. They don't even count as an active distributor. And he's saying about the remaining people who are earning $15, between $5 and $15, which is another 40% of the company. No, another 40%, because 31.6% making $5 and 9.28% earning $15. Another 40% of the remaining 50% is only earning between $5 and $15. And even now he's saying, why even bother?
This is a stepping stone. This was just on the way.
It grows exponentially.
Yeah, and then you get into the diamond and above ranks, and then there's profit sharing. So you actually get a percentage of what the whole company makes, which that's unheard of.
Fines are also an investment. Yeah, bars. Some in LA.
most companies to have stock options and shares like that. It's very exclusive. This is automatic. It's built in.
Yeah.
So
It grows like wildfire when you start having other people under you sharing it, you know, because it's one thing, we can only reach a certain amount of people on our own, but how it's leveraged is having the multi-level. It's incredible. When you have someone motivated under you, it takes off a whole life of its own. Suddenly it's out of our hands. We have people wanting to make money and step into these
So what employers dream of is bringing in an employee who has like this entrepreneur mindset, who's like, I'm going to take this company to the next level, but they're building the CEO's dream. They're building someone else's dream. Ultimately here, you're doing it for yourself.
We have someone in Thailand right now who is like just crushing it.
Again, another lie. You're not doing it for yourself. You don't own it. You're a 1099 contractor. They can terminate you at any time. You don't own anything. There's nothing on paper. There's no contract. The only contract is the one that the company makes you sign that says you can't disparage them after you leave, whatever non-compete clause, etc., etc. This is nonsense. You, as a matter of fact, you are only building the dreams of the people at the top.
The beach,
yeah,
you know,
watching numbers roll in, and she's just on the beach chilling, you know.
Like I've been on the beach for the past few months, and
more deceptive earnings claims.
That's what people dream of, and it's attainable. That's why it's okay. You have to get through all this initial mud, the murky anti-MLM trolls. Like you have to wade through that to get
trolls. I'm a troll, everybody.
The good part, and that's what we did. And this is why we encourage people to take a deeper look. Like, do your due diligence. Don't just like watch anti stuff. Look for people who had success.
LOL specs. Shout out to Rax on Raf. Wow, that's a throwback. I'm on my last dollar right now. Hilarious. And yes, I'm watching this on 1.25 speed so we can get through it. But she does talk fast at a base level anyways.
You know, and you may not resonate with all of them, but that's fine.
I have to see someone like myself have success to believe I could. And so why we share this information out there is it's not to recruit. It's like, you know, to really educate people, because if you don't see yourself, like I didn't see myself as someone who was in successful, you know, I never saw myself as someone who was able to make a lot of money and become really successful and manage a whole bunch of people and all of that. But I had to see someone else doing it for me to believe, and belief is a huge, it's very important to share people that who are like, you know, who are praying for it or who are open to it, to show that there's, you know, we have to show the reality of everyone. And so, yeah, okay, like give people who, you know, who failed and didn't have any success a voice, sure, because everyone deserves a voice, but also like listen to people who did make it and, you know, learn something.
And that's why that point, the income claims is really valid. And it's a good concern, because we wouldn't tell someone coming in, you're going to be rich, like you're going to make it, like quit your job and this is how much you're going to make. Like we never do that. We say,
think about the evil that's being perpetuated right here. In this same video, these people have talked about, oh yeah, we have a girl on our team in Thailand who's just been chilling on the beach. She's killing it. And then they talked about the people who have not made money. And what was their answer for that? Oh, well, they didn't believe, they didn't try hard enough, they were quitters. How could you even fucking reason with these people?
It's on the table. We're saying this is what you could be earning. We show them the fast start compound, because we've helped people do that. It's possible. You can make $3,000 in your first month.
I rest my case.
Just if you go quickly, right? But not everyone does that, and that's fine, right? The thing is like you do, for anyone who the people who did suffer and did have a bad experience, their story is valid too, obviously, okay? Just as much as we talk about the people who've made it, we want to talk about the stories of people who were doing really well and then they dropped off, or they never even really got started, because that's the majority of the people, right? The majority of people who come into it, they want to know, like, could I actually make money with this thing? And that's a good point. Like, can you? And it's really up to you. You have to have a good mindset. You have to do all the things we're talking about, like love the product, have fun with it, tap into what you're passionate about, and do it together, right? If you just lean into it, it's like, it's a job, I'm going to focus on it, and maybe you're not going to get the same results because you're maybe too money oriented, or you had high expectations.
Too money oriented. Forgive me if I joined this thinking that it was a business and thinking that this was entrepreneurship and thinking that I could make money and get rich. Silly me. I only thought that because that's exactly what you told me it was. My bad.
Of something. And yeah, that's a good point, because we can't, this is why we don't make claims. We're just saying this is the average, and look, you could be making between this and this.
What's possible. Like all we can do is do it. We're like, I'm going to go to the top of this pay plan. And you know, when you're playing those carnival games, and like some of them are rigged, legit. Like, and so
you don't even ball in the bucket, bounce right
it's like no one wins. And so no one's gonna even play because they're not gonna believe they can win. But if you, and sometimes they even like play someone to actually get it, because people need to believe they can to achieve it.
If it's skill and you're in the right time, in the right place, you'll win. And that,
by all means, those who failed deserve a voice, but also L plus ratio plus fell off plus quitters, basically.
And it's
we're just showing that it is possible. Like we've paved a way and we are helping so many other people who are all diverse, different than us. Like not, you know, it's not like one type of person that we've seen. We have now that we've exposed, like we have a huge team, over 8,000 people.
Yeah.
We've
And
seen
the
I said this on the last stream that I talked about when I played this short clip from the video. If you have 8,000 people doing anything, if you've convinced 8,000 people to buy into this company, you should be running your own company. If you possess such a rare aptitude to recruit 8,000 people to do anything, it's a shame. It's a quadruple shame that you don't even own this thing and that most of the money the people are generating is not going to you. That's a big shame. Big haram.
of MLMs is all like, hey, hun, like housewives, like, you know, looking to make money. But that's like sexist, first of all, to have that stereotype. Like women should need more income streams, and especially
and be able to
nowadays.
stay home with their babies. Yeah.
And then also we have a huge diverse people. The more diverse, the better, because, you know, there are all types of people. There's like lots of men who are struggling with health issues that want to make an extra income stream, like young and old, people helping with their kids. Like everybody is welcome into this. It's non.
We have a 100-year-old on it. We have kids. It's like all
scholarship program where it's like the food is actually paid for if you know.
So generous.
So it's like
so generous. Can't make this shit up.
There's so many different ways to approach it to bottleneck and profile.
I wonder if her constantly shaking her head is like subconsciously her real self disagreeing with the words coming out of the mouth of her cult self and Jared.
This is like the black and white mentality of low IQ.
The problem in the world is just it's too easy. People think of things as black and white and they're not
they're not seeing the nuance in everything.
LOL, they're not seeing the nuance in a pyramid scheme.
Attrition rates. So point out high attrition rates.
Sorry, y'all.
Where a significant percentage of participants fail to achieve financial success and eventually drop out often. So this kind of ties into the income.
LOL, yeah, talking about women, talking up women and talking about how it's sexist to like hate on this, and then also earlier saying most of these anti-MLMers are women who failed.
And allegations that you're going to lose money, right? Like there's a high failure rate. But a lot of high earning, high income, high cognitive, intelligent professions, lawyers, doctors, like there's a high failure rate for that too. Like just because there's a high failure rate, does that mean you should give up?
What are you talking about? Cite your source. What's your source? 99% of people who join MLM will lose their money, minimum. My source is the Federal Trade Commission, who have embedded the document, The Case for and Against MLMs, by John Taylor, 2011, Consumer Awareness Institute. The FTC has that document on their website. Okay, that's my source. What is your source for saying there's a high turnover rate, high attrition rate, or high failure rate in being a lawyer? And even if there is a high attrition rate, I mean, this is a subjective term, but I think objectively 99% is high. I think we can all agree on that. So what is this guy saying is a high failure rate when it comes to lawyers? I'm truly interested and curious to know.
Away, throw in the towel because you know, we had a couple failures, a few like tough lessons, and there's some haters and stuff like that. Absolutely not. So that is not a really valid claim. I don't think anyone who wants financial independence and freedom should be discouraged at any point unless they're like doing something really harmful or greedy or whatever. But the fact that they're just doing it in the MLM space, that they're using a business model to do it to create wealth, they shouldn't be targeted. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, my source, the MLM's own disclosure statement.
You could have a lot of this. I think a lot of what we're saying right now, it boils down to ethics. Like it's just like a personal feeling that you have towards it, because like if you look at data and you actually look beneath the surface of what MLM's going on, you'll see that a lot of it works. A lot of it makes sense, and it's good. It's not the best. It's not perfect, but it's a better business model.
How in the sunken place can you fucking possibly be? I literally did exactly what he just said. I went below the surface and I examined the compensation plan, and we did the math to show how there's approximately 5 people that have ever reached the rank of 3-star crown, 4-star crown, and 5-star crown, or that did in that year anyways, whatever. And that most of the people, the vast majority, lost money. And that even the ones who did make some money were still in the red after you factor in their starter kit and whatever other investments that he talked about, like a pro Zoom account and whatever else. You cannot make this shit up, you guys. You really can't. So sad, frankly, so sad.
right? So
Oh, what the fuck did I do? Sorry. Idiot.
like a lot of people want to try the products, right? A lot of people are like, oh, that sounds cool. Like green shake gut health, I want it, but do I have to like subscribe? Am I going to be in some kind of like club or whatever? I don't want that. Like, I don't want to do that. And I get that too. Like we tried Melaleuca last year, a couple of years ago, just to try it out. And yeah, whatever. They have some good products. It's a lot.
That's a big tell also. If you guys had this aptitude to recruit 8,000 people, or you recruited 100 people, and then the extension was that of those 100 people, person 1 recruited 2 people, person 2 recruited 5 people, and then it eventually spread out to be 8,000 people. If you guys were capable of that, this same thing as I asked earlier, it begs the question, why would you ever need to have joined another MLM company? If it works, if the plan works, wouldn't you have been successful in Melaleuca?
It is just like chemicals and shit. So same stuff you'd get at a store.
Chemicals. It's the same stuff you get at a store. And what is your processed powder in a plastic bag, if not chemicals? Also, the word chemical is an unregulated term. The word chemical is just a buzzword that strikes fear into the hearts of people, but everything is a chemical. Everything is chemicals. Your body is made of chemicals. Chemistry. Your body has a chemical makeup, just like it has a biological makeup. And there is, natural, green, sustainable, ethical, what was the word he just used that I was just talking about? Chemical. These are all words that don't actually mean anything. You don't have to get any sort of like certification to use these words. If you were to say your product is organic or vegan, you would need to get the approval so that you could put the little logo that says organic or vegan or FDA approved or whatever on it. But all these other words don't actually mean anything. Chemical, clean, or sustainable. It doesn't mean anything.
It's like that Amway thing, the Confederate products, where they just do everything and they've kind of diluted their potency because they're just like, what is this? What makes it special or unique, right? What's the point? Why direct sell it? And it's just there we felt very locked in. It was very hard to get out of it. It was just like I had to email them. I think I had to sign like a contract. Like I do not want to be part of this anymore. Like it was annoying and hard to do. I didn't like that. But with Purium, if someone doesn't want to order, just stop ordering. Like cancel your subscription, cancel your smart order, and you're done. And then, but most people come back because they feel like ass when they quit. So there's that. So I want to just diffuse that myth right there. Unsustainable business model. So
is it just me, or is the points that he starts talking about from ChatGPT not actually the thing he's talking about when he speaks?
Argue MLM business model is inherently flawed and unsustainable, relying on continuous recruitment of new members rather than the sale of legitimate products.
Oh, well, we can talk to you. Our retention rate
for us,
is like, I think what 90% of our customers order on Smart Order every month because they love the products. And you know what? Most of our customers, a lot of them have stopped for a bit and they come back because life is better with it. So we don't have to like force anyone to, once they experience it themselves, they're on their own. People come back to this because it feels better with it,
It's a very organic, natural response that we're doing. We're just like, we love this. Maybe you'll love it too. Oh, great. You love it. Okay. So we created a connection, and it's like, we offer more than just being salespeople. We have a community of support. We can connect with you. We'll help you with your ordering. We'll help you find new people, whatever you want to do.
It just keeps growing. It's like a tree. Like this is how I see it. We started with fixing the soil. That was like the foundational work. That's why, you're not getting money. You're fixing the soil. Then you're planting this seed. And now you don't see the roots are starting to spread. We're watering it. We're not seeing anything grow for a bit. There's nothing. Then you start to see a little sprout. Okay, growing. It's growing. You're putting a lot of work into it. You have to really be consistent to water it every single day. Give it plenty of sunshine.
Talk nice to it.
Yeah. The winds will come and maybe like blow it. You may have to replant it.
Cat knocks it over.
Something happens, you have to replant it. Okay, so this happens until we start getting that solid tree trunk starting and the
growth,
the buds coming, the fruit. Now, what's happening here and where we're at is these fruit they're already formed. We've formed a lot of amazing thick branches with a lot of healthy fruit. Now this fruit is falling into the ground like it does, and then the seed takes care, like suddenly nature is taking over. So once you have that work that you've put in at the beginning to create a very healthy foundation, you've got a healthy solid tree, you really just gotta just kind of water it, but it's growing on its own. So that claim, it's not in our experience that we have to keep on, recruiting. It's like you kind of like at a certain point, we have leaders above us who have been doing this for 20 years. And it's awesome to see how they live their life. Like literally, Ian has to write like winning on some people's posts, and like that's
Chatty and OG.
that's his day, you know.
It's minimal requirement. It's like instead you're doing like 1%
You're
of
like
something.
you're loving on some people. Okay, that's like what we're paid to do, is just to like show some people some love and encouragement.
Yeah, and it's important to have passion.
How is this business? What are y'all even talking about? We're paid to just show some people some love? Asking a prostitute what she does. I'm just paid to show some people some love.
Obviously, you want to be like busy and doing stuff.
Well, he's
and you're
still
kind of,
recruiting
like,
at 20 years in. We're still going to always be recruiting, because not recruiting, like, I don't even like saying that word.
Yeah.
We're always going to be sharing this, because I would.
More doublespeak. We're not going to be recruiting. We're just going to be sharing. We don't torture. We use enhanced interrogation. Thank you, Jared, for sharing the merch link. Buy a Goon Juice mug, a Cult Member t-shirt, and a Write This Down notebook. And stream exclusive. Use the code GOONS for a discount.
They like selling, recruiting. No, we share something and we invite people in.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
just
And I
sharing
know
it
that
because
may
we're all
seem
living
like
it. Like people
like-
come to us and they're like, how is your skin so good? We're in our
it's not
40s.
just a change of vocabulary. These are different terms
Yeah.
completely. And recruiting is a term used by anti-MLM and the industry to kind of portray it in this like
bit of a
dark light.
jargon.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not. You motherfuckers used that. And then once people got hip to what it was, started using different words like sharing or sponsoring. They have literally every word in the nomenclature of MLM is doublespeak. Every word is a lie. Every phrase, every term, I should say, not every word. Every term is doublespeak. Every term is a lie. Literally every single one.
Necessary, but whatever. You can
Change the word if it doesn't
say what you
resonate.
like.
Yeah.
exactly.
But it really
Free
is just
country.
sharing. And so we never feel like,
Oh, this is a
Yeah.
juicy one. Cult-like behavior.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like this one.
This is what they focus on. Some anti-MLM voices draw attention to the cult-like culture that can develop within certain MLM, where participants are encouraged to prioritize the company above all else and may face social pressure to conform to certain behaviors or beliefs. So
That's not us, says the couple making a 1 hour long video trying to explain why their company is not a pyramid scheme.
for sure, like the cultiness is really essentially like a group of people all wanting, all contributing
Like-minded,
towards
having the
a
same
goal,
goals.
I guess. And yeah, there's bad cults, obviously, like David Koresh and Jim Jones, like have people drinking the Kool-Aid and all suiciding themselves. Yeah, it's terrible. But to liken that to like an industry, a community of people who like want to escape the matrix
Yeah.
of
I always say,
slave
yes,
wages,
we
that-
are a
yeah,
cult. We'll brainwash you into believing in yourself.
yeah.
Can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. Almost 5 years I've been doing this. And if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. You can't make this shit up. We're not brainwashing you. We're washing your brain. Yeah, we will brainwash you into believing in yourself. I don't know why that didn't work. There we go. Sometimes if I half press the button, it just plays the sound and doesn't make the scene. I mean, wow. Yeah, some cults are bad. David Koresh, people drinking the Kool-Aid and killing themselves. But not us. Not a community of like-minded people all losing money. And some of them will commit suicide. And a bunch of them will cut off their family and friends and permanently destroy relationships and burn bridges forever because their mom was a hater who didn't support my business. But we're not a bad cult. Can't make this shit up, y'all. You really can't.
Get ready, we're gonna brainwash you.
Loving yourself, and
You could be successful. You could be financially
I think
independent.
people want to be people pay a lot of money for hypnosis on these things.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Hypnotize you. So
it worked
you
for
have
us.
to
Hey,
get sleep.
like I didn't believe I could do anything before, like in terms of, what I'm doing now. I didn't think I could be on camera talking on YouTube. I didn't think I could have like, everything that we're doing now was so like things I had no belief in myself to do until I was given this kind of belief, but
It did.
it served us in so many positive ways that I'm like, bring it on, bring on this brainwashing.
Yeah. So the hate is coming from a place, and we experienced it firsthand. So a good example, there's someone in our organization, right? And he made a public Facebook post and he said something like, I'm not making as much as I would like to be in the MLM with Purium. I'm just questioning what I should do, right? And so a lot of people in Purium were encouraging him in the comments. Obviously, they want him to stay. They love him. They want him to keep going, like go for it, like keep focused. And then I got a DM from somebody of like a hater, you know, who just like hates on everything. And he's just like, you see what they're doing to this poor guy? Like, he just wants to leave. Like he's suffering enough. Like he's scared about his future. And, you know, your cult is trying to like drag him in and bringing him into it. And I was just like, no, like he has a valid question. He's asking for support. He wants choice. Like if he wrote like, I'm thinking of like stopping, kind of being out of like I'm getting out of med school. It's too hard. Would you be like, yeah, get out of there. Like, give up. It's smart. Just give up. Go back to your old job. Like, no, it's like a shithead thing to say. And this is why, like, but people think like, oh, you're in a silo. You're in this like echo chamber of support all the time. And, you know, that's true to a certain extent. Obviously, your whole team is going to be like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. Let's help a lot of people. Let's grow. Right. And that's
I needed
amazing.
to be encouraged. I was going
Yeah.
to quit 2020. I remember I was like stepping on the ledge. I was like, I'm quitting because it was hard. You know, we're stepping so far out of our comfort zone. It is so like, almost like at the beginning, it's almost like, whoa, and you're going fast. It's almost destabilizing. It's scary, you know,
Yeah, that's
to
why people
experience
quit.
this.
We had diamonds quit. So people who are making a few $1,000s a
Whoa,
month,
getting too big.
like too much leadership, too much responsibilities.
Yeah,
and
people are scared of responsibility. It's true. And I was too. So I totally.
Again, you can't tell these people anything. Even if you're a diamond, you're making money and you quit. Oh, you're too scared. You're getting too big. You're scared of responsibility. There's no justification for these people that they would accept for why you would ever leave. How is that not a negative, destructive cult? Somebody in the chat said, Sev, shout out to Sev, says, I'm curious what they think the bad cults tell people. All cults tell people to believe in themselves and then believe in the cult. I mean, exactly. That's exactly what it's the same type of like cope. Again, a mental fortress of logical fallacies and false equivalences for them to justify their cult. What these people, it's obvious they would never accept any reason to ever leave, just like any cult, just like any destructive cult. I'm sure Jim Jones thought there was no good reason for anyone to leave Jonestown. Yeah, sounds like something all cults would say. Jared, you dodged a bullet, not just a bullet, a whole ass tank blast. Suffering from success, too much leadership. I feel like Marco gets migraines after watching these videos to say the same things. You know, I'm sure one of the things they're going to say coming up is that, you know, hate never comes from above. It only comes from below. Hate only comes from people trying to bring you down. This is something I want the MLM folks to understand, and I know they never understand until it's too late, and then they come back months later or years later and DM me on Instagram hanging their head and telling me, you know what, Marco, I used to think you were a hater, or I reported your Instagram to get it taken down, or I made an Instagram story, you know, saying horrible shit about you or DM'd you horrible shit, and I've come back and I realized that I was brainwashed and I was in a cult and I'm sorry. That's happened to me so many times I couldn't even fucking tell you. What I want these people to understand is that you're right. Hate never comes from above. Hate only comes from below. And what I am doing, thank you, Sev. What I am doing with this content is not hating on you. Okay? You are all out here lying to people, saying that you are an entrepreneur and a business owner when you're not. You know who is? Me. And I am trying to help you. I am trying to save your life so that you stop wasting time with this scam that is only going to go one of two ways. Either you losing, or two, you becoming successful at the hands of so many other people losing. You becoming successful because you hurt many other people. Either way, the net result that I am trying to achieve is helping you and helping other people by extension. This is not hate. I am not a hater. It is the opposite of hate. I'm trying to lift you up out of the matrix, as you call it, so that you stop losing money and stop fucking over other people and making them lose their money. Oh, Sev, you can't gift memberships? What's going on? Somebody test gifting memberships. See if it's broken.
Late. I was scared. I was like, I don't want to be too successful. I don't have too many people under me that I have to worry about. But
and they cave and they burn out and then they go back to their job. And
so I have to be encouraged to stay, and I am so grateful every single day. So of course I pay that forward. If someone is thinking to quit, you know, and I'm just like, dude, like you're so in alignment, like you're doing it anyways. What's like, you know, sometimes it's just a little shift in how you're doing it or what you're putting energy into. There's just a shift, like a small shift. So it's just about diagnosing.
Thank you, Sev, for being a member.
like, what is making this like reaction for you? And like, how can we pivot, which is really loving. And everyone is grateful when we work through those things. Unfortunately, some people, you know, like that mindset of the person who's like, just let them go. Like, okay,
Yeah,
if we let
they're
them go.
scared. Let them free from your cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. Like some of them do have cultish behavior, sure, and whatever, but like a good product at its core, good community support. Like we have someone who came in, Dan Talbot, who it was like instead of AA, instead for his alcohol addiction, he needed our community support. He wanted friends. He wanted like people to love on him, and this is where he found it. It's beautiful, and that's like a story that repeats over and over again.
Community
So
is everything.
to call it a cult is blasphemous. It's not.
Community is medicine. It's really life-saving to have people support you and encourage you. It's a medicine that we do not get exposed to in this world. And I just want to say it's super healing to just have that kind of support.
Nothing makes me believe that it's not a cult more than calling it medicine. And what was the other word she used?
Is everything.
To call it a cult is blasphemous. It's not.
Community is medicine. It's really life-saving to have people
Life-saving and medicine.
support you and encourage you. It's a medicine that we do not get exposed to in this world. And I just want to say it's super healing to just have that kind of support. And to
meet other
the
people.
excitement. Okay. So some people have said, "Ooh, you've drunk, like you really drank the Kool-Aid," or, you know, you're like, whatever, like it sounds like you're in a cult, how you're talking about it so passionately. And to that, I just want to say, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be we wouldn't be here today where we are if we didn't have this passion and excitement.
And we weren't obsessed.
We weren't obsessed. Like
Fucking insanity. This is what I mean. MLM can make otherwise normal, sane people display antisocial or psychopathic or sociopathic behavior.
I actually, like, I think I got laid off from my job because I was like I was obsessed with Purium. I was looking on my phone. I was like sharing this with everyone.
Isn't that a red flag? You got fired from your job because you were so consumed with Purium. If that's not a cult, what is? Even people who are in religions don't lose their job because they are spending too much time with their cult. I mean, yeah, Sila Jane says, if it's blasphemous to call it a cult, doesn't that mean it's worse than a cult? Can it be blasphemy if it's not a cult or religion? Exactly. If you're a blasphemer, if you blaspheme, that means you're going against like the word of God, the word of the religion. What up, Precious 81? Thanks for being here.
So excited to talk about it. We were posting things at the office. So like,
for that one. But yeah, you have to be obsessed. And just like if you had your own business, your own restaurant or something, your car wash business,
you get obsessed.
You have to be obsessed if you want it to work.
Obsessed with your children, you know, like we need obsession is like it should not be stigmatized. If you're an artist and you're not obsessed with your work, if you're you know, a writer, not like all fields of anything, we need a healthy level of obsession to make flex it.
To be obsessed.
Yeah. So just want to say that to those who say
get obsessed.
Yeah. Don't be scared of the obsession.
Right, running long here.
Okay.
So ethical concerns. They raise ethical concerns about the targeting of vulnerable populations such as stay-at-home parents, students, or low-income individuals who may be attracted to promise a quick fix. Okay. Maybe the medical industry does that. They promise quick fixes and stuff like that.
Prey on the weak.
Yeah, but we're natural healing solutions. We're like food and stuff like that. And yeah, someone who's not making a lot of money.
I like how they immediately went for the look who's talking, you know, excuse. I think this is called the I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm going to Google this. I know how to spell it. Tu quoque fallacy. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Can I here, I'm going to Google pronunciation. Tu quoque. Let me see.
Or expression from Latin. We are looking at how to pronounce this phrase, or Caesar, at how to pronounce tu quoque.
Tu quoque. This basically means you too in Latin or French, I believe. And it basically means, it's basically a logical fallacy where you point out somebody or something who is doing the same behavior that you're being criticized for as a means of like diverting attention away from the thing that you are doing. So they're saying, oh, the medical industry tells people to look for a quick fix. Well, this is a fallacy because even if the medical industry is doing that, that doesn't explain or justify why you are doing it. You know? So again, it's amazing how these people can never directly answer a question or a criticism. They'll always spin. They'll always spin. Oh, they say we're a cult? Well, we are a cult. It's great to be obsessed. Yay, we're brainwashed into believing in ourselves. We're a good cult. Yay. Oh, ethical problems? Quick fix medical solutions? Well, you know who does that? The medical industry. Madness.
they're struggling. Yeah, that sounds enticing. Why not make a little extra income or whatever? Someone like that, we're not going to convince them to invest in products if they can't afford it. Okay. We're going to say, maybe explore the scholarship program, maybe start talking about it before, and then you can maybe get someone
The fact that we
interested.
do have a scholarship program, I think, takes away the fact that we could even take advantage of anyone with no money because they're given an opportunity to do the scholarship if they can't
create a
afford
business,
it, which
get
is
free
crazy
food.
generous. Like, I can't even believe it.
So, and beyond that, the fact that like if someone is like we're targeting vulnerable people, this is a common concern. Like they're vulnerable.
Okay, I have a story to share with this.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna pee.
Okay, so I had when I first joined, I was dealing with mental health issues, and so I thought. And I was involved with like a lot of my community that I built was around like people suffering with post-traumatic stress. And I created a group called Safe Space. And it was like, you know, a lot of people talking about their mental health and their struggles and their problems and situations, you know, traumas. And so I right away thought like, cause this was helping me so much with my mental health, I went right away to those communities, those groups that I had actually started because I was, you know, involved with starting my own, also involved with others that, you know, other groups that were out there. And I thought, perfect, I'm going to like help people like myself. And it was a huge backlash, huge. So I was looking for people who needed it the way I did, but not everyone was ready for it. I was ready for it. I was ready to leave my victimhood. Not everyone is ready for that. People are very attached to their pain and their labels. And so I had to learn the hard way that, you know, even though and I was struggling financially when this came into our life, you know, we were just kind of barely getting by, even though Jared had a good job, he was supporting all four of us basically. And so my idea was, of course, I'm going to look for people who need the money because we were starting to see success and definitely who were sick, who needed the healing. I was particularly looking for people with mental health issues. What happened was I reached out to one of my friends who, you know, I knew we were very connected. We were speaking regularly. And I said and he had put
I like how before they were bragging about how this is so ethical and so good to help people. And then she's now saying like, oh yeah, I was struggling. So I was one of those people and I was going through mental health issues and I was looking for people with mental health issues. You can't make this shit up.
a post about being suicidal in the middle of the night. And I had just caught that post and I right away sent him information about gut health. And this actually destroyed.
You're kidding me. Listen to what she's saying. She saw somebody make a post about being suicidal late at night and she sent them a post about gut health.
He put out a public announcement about me the next day. I woke up to it saying, watch out for Allison. She's a predator targeting people who are vulnerable. She's trying to like rope people into her MLM who are, you know, emotionally vulnerable. Who's the most, remember that in Florida?
Yeah.
That was one of my first experiences where here I am looking for people who needed it. But that was the big awakening I got was that we're not looking, like we have to stop. It's not just looking for the people who need it, the people who are ready for it. So I got to learn that over time, I knew the warning signs of someone, or I knew like the, you know, qualifications of someone who was really ready for it, not just someone who needed it. And I think that's what people make like, and I feel it's unfair, you know, because it's unfortunate that, you know, we'll get targeted as we're preying on people who are vulnerable, where I know the hearts of people who are looking for people who are needing it is because they know it's helped them. And so they're just trying to help other people like themselves.
Man, I've not outrightly disrespected these people in any way on this stream so far, I think, or on the previous one. But man, Allison, I have to just tell you objectively, bro, messaging someone on Facebook who was vulnerable enough to talk about contemplating suicide and you message them some shit about your MLM, processed powder that you scoop out of a plastic bag, and gut health. I know you really believe in this. I believe that you believe in this. I believe that you have brainwashed yourself into success or whatever you call it. Brainwashing is still brainwashing. But Allison, that is a shitty thing to do. Really shitty thing to do. And if you can't see that, I mean, are you in there? Didn't you say you studied psychology? I mean, maybe studied psychology was used very loosely. Maybe you mean that you read some articles about it, not that you actually went to school for it, because just from this interview, it sounds like you've done a lot of things, but none of them with any, you know, semblance of seriousness until Purium anyways. But that's a horrible and shitty thing to do. If you don't see that, like, you as someone who is not a therapist, who is not a doctor, who is not a professional, a mental health professional, if you don't see that you reaching out to someone who's talking about contemplating suicide to promote your MLM powder to them if you don't see how that is not the same as a qualified professional actually reaching out to help that person, then yeah, you're completely lost in the sauce. But I think we knew that already.
But that's just something we had to learn along the way. One of those hard lessons that we can't just look for the people who need it the most. Oftentimes they're the ones who are the least ready for it, and they've bitten our heads off. Like, it's like you try to feed bring the snake in to feed
Sure,
it,
right, sure.
and so it'll bite you.
So like lots.
Bring the snake in to feed it and it bites you. Hey, to the guy who posted on Facebook from Florida about contemplating suicide, if you're watching this, just know that they think you're a snake waiting to bite them because they tried to help you. Insane.
Discover, like, we don't mean to, like,
Wagwan, Alex.
hate on other companies or whatever, but there are ones that are doing it wrong. Absolutely.
But
They have a good product, they don't have a good
But I
product.
think there's something for
Sure.
everyone.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, look, that person who's
level
eating
up.
McDonald's every day and they switch over to their, sugary, like albeit not like very healthy, let's say shake from another company, it will be a step up from their McFlurry, so it's like I appreciate that there's other levels of quality out there and other budget levels to reach different people. We're not for everyone, so.
Yeah, and just to speak to the idea of future proofing, because we saw like during COVID, like businesses shutting down, a lot of friends of ours, like their gyms closed, their restaurants shut down. You could see how fragile brick and mortar is. And I think with AI coming in, the whole landscape is shifting, and there's going to be more emphasis on emotional intelligence and human skills, like learning about people, what they want and stuff like that, because high cognitive abilities like lawyers, doctors, like professionals, like I think they're going to be replaced soon. There's not going to be a career there for a lot of people. So we should be focused on one, helping ourselves. Like, how do you become the healthiest vessel of yourself? How do you rejuvenate? And then how do you help others do that too? And really, like, this has been a tool for us to reach more people. We're talking to hundreds more people a year than we would have normally in our jobs, where you talk to the same 20 people, 100 people all year round. So you're making more connections, you're building your skill set, and we're funneling funds into our dream of building like an off-grid community, sustainable dream home, with paradise, where we could just like live off our fruit forest. Like that was our dream, and now we're able to make that a reality.
It would not have been before.
And yeah, exactly. I would have
wait till we were like in our 70s to retire to have that. Like,
I'm ready to
that's
retire.
not when you start farming,
no,
we
you
need a
start it
good,
now.
healthy, we
So
want to have a long, this is really to fund anyone's dreams, and it goes with what anyone is already doing. It's like, you don't have to be anything. You just have to have your own experience, and we empower you to share your own story, because every one of us can reach different people. So, if you're curious to learn, to just like, you can come into one of our calls and also like listen to the culture, because it's really about the things have to resonate for you. If you to be successful in something, you really have to like, it has to align with your integrity and your values.
That's first. Yeah, exactly. We would never push someone into this. They got to have their hand up, like, I want to improve, I want to get healthier. And we're like, okay, here's how we did it. I
just had someone message me, by the way, just now, just send me a link, because she just saw one of my a live I just did. So, we just go out there. We have people coming to us to order. I don't have to go out there. When you put out your story and it's out there in the world, it's amazing who comes out. You don't know who's listening.
Yeah, it's like be a lighthouse in the darkness and bring in them boats.
Babble.
So thank you for watching. If you're on the fence about joining MLM, or you're curious about Purium, drop us a message here. We'll get in touch and we'll start a conversation. That's about it. Or if you're an anti-MLM person, I want to debate you.
Yeah.
I've tried in the past, and you're all too cowardly to.
Let's go. Bring it.
So bring it on. You got something to say? Let's do it.
Cowardly, says this guy who's a complete fucking pussyo. Came into my DM asking me to debate, and I said yes. And when I did one stream explaining the Purium compensation plan so that I didn't waste time debunking it while we were doing the debate, he sends me a whole slew of fucking excuses that you heard earlier in this stream. In the Instagram voice memos he was sending me, it's not a good use of my time. I looked into your history. You have legal problems. Compliance department won't allow me to do it. I don't think you're doing it in good faith. I'm quite busy these days. And on and on and on and on. Jared, okay, I'm gonna finally since you're putting it out there and calling the anti-MLM crowd who refuses to debate you cowardly, Jared, you are a bitch. You are a bitch, Jared. I have to I'm crowning you with it. I'm finally going to actually bestow you with a word of disrespect, because I do disrespect you. Nobody was too cowardly to debate you. As a matter of fact, you are the one who was cowardly, because not only did you back out of our debate after realizing you would get ratioed the same way you did in the comments of this very video that we're reacting to, the same one, by the way, that you first disabled the comments on, and then after disabling the comments on it, privated it, and then after I checked you on privating it, you made excuses for why you privated it, then you sent it to me unlisted. Then when you saw that I was doing this stream where I was going to react to it, you privated it again, thinking I wouldn't be able to see it. Little did you know, I had the whole thing downloaded. So who's cowardly, Jared?
Mano y mano. No, it's cool to have a
I
dialogue.
like it. I like having
discourse. It's important.
We have to have conversations with people who see differently, so we can learn.
It's
And
not black and white. As you could see, our trajectory was not linear.
It is black and white, actually, when it comes to MLM. That's why I love doing the debates, because it's the one thing that I can argue with someone about, and I know no matter what, I will never lose. It's literally taking candy from a baby. People love watching the debates. I do the debates. I let these people talk. They make a fool out of themselves. The video gets views. I make money. I spread awareness about the dangers of MLM and the mind virus that is on full display when I talk to these people and I ask them basic questions and I put basic facts in front of their face and they deflect and make false equivalences and crumble and talk about other things and get emotional like Dominic Izzo or Dale Calvert or Scott and Peter or any of the people I've debated, or it's ice cream, it will melt, like that one guy, Feby Francois from World Financial Group I debated. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. I can never lose. There's never a risk of me going into a debate with a pro MLM person and like ruining my credibility or losing. It's just not going to happen. So, how telling of who you really are and your spinelessness than to be talking big smoke on this YouTube video saying, oh, all these anti-MLM people who refuse to debate me are cowards. And then you, in the biggest act of cowardice, privates the video and then doubles down on it by flopping on the debate that you asked me for and then gave me a bunch of excuses. It would have been more honorable of you to just ghost me and never respond. Instead, you had the audacity to send me these bullshit excuses, which you know had to make you look spineless.
Okay, it was a lot of this happening, a lot of insecurity, a lot of failing and stuff. So we're coming from experience, you know. So someone new coming in,
we're just sharing our own experience. That's all we
this is
can
what you
share.
can expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Much love, y'all.
Bye.
Tiny hearts.
Oh, is this gonna be our coming?
MLM is actually black and white, folks. There is right and there is wrong. There is good and there is evil. MLM is one of the purest, most unfiltered forms of evil that exists in the modern world. It is a calculated deception that through lobbying and years of co-opting academics and celebrities and politicians has created this image for itself, this facade, this veneer of legitimacy that is a complete lie. It is a scam. Multi-level marketing does mean pyramid scheme. MLMs are pyramid schemes. They are scams. The people at the tops of these companies are sociopaths and or psychopaths. It is built on deception and fraud and lying. MLM is fraud. So that's about as black and white as it gets, unfortunately. Unfortunately for many millions of victims every single year. And who knows, maybe Jared and Allison, their authentic selves are actually really cool people, but unfortunately their cult selves have taken over and they're very proud of it at this moment in time. I just hope that they'll look back on these and realize, oh my God, what was I doing? Like, this is so cringe. Like, this is horrifying to me, because I know a lot of former MLM folks who go on to become anti-MLM have that same experience, and they look back and they shudder looking at their old content that they posted when they were in MLM. So I just hope for Jared and Allison's sake that they go on to actually do something that truly benefits society and does good for society instead of what they're currently doing. Kendra K says, Marco, where did you get that shirt? Well, funny you should ask, Kendra, because I've just put a link in the description to the place where I got this from, the online store called alwaysmarcomerch.com, where you can use the code GOONS for a discount and get this shirt in multiple colors. It's in this beautiful navy blue. It comes in gray. It comes in black. Cop it, you know. The whole institute preys on the hopeless and damaged, says Justin. So true. Justin also says, it's amazing to me these people are able to go about their lives carrying a smile. They are circus clowns, in my opinion. It's so sad to know how many people can't see through their lies. Oh, wait, it's because it is imperative that they are in such a vulnerable place in life that they have almost no chance of doing so. Exactly. Richard Simmons headband, LOL. Facts are facts. I bet they're watching the stream right now on a friend's phone. Yeah, Jared had followed me on Instagram and unfollowed me after the last string of messages. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I've got for today. Very proud of this stream. Unfortunately, this is how it always goes. Is just as I'm about to end the stream, we hit a peak in viewers where there's the most viewers, like almost 300 people watching right now, only 241 likes. So we got to fix that. Make sure you go thumbs up the ting. Of course, you got to.
Thumbs up the ting.
Yeah, but that's okay. It is what it is. Keep them wanting more, right? Hopefully you guys will tune in next time. I've put the link in the description. Sorry, I've put the link in the chat and the description to the Discord. You can join the Discord, and you'll get alerted when I go live next. I know maybe you don't want to do this, but fuck it, I'm going to ask you anyways. Follow me on Instagram at alwaysmarco. I post the most on Instagram, if I'm being honest. I post the most updates, the most opinions, the most stuff on Instagram, which is kind of ironic because Instagram is the smallest of the platforms I have. It's smaller than my TikTok. It's smaller than my YouTube, but I am trying to grow it. You know, I really got to do a better job of getting the almost 100,000 people that follow me on YouTube to follow me on Instagram as well. Spec says, follow me on Instagram too. Hilarious. Appreciate you guys. I'll be back to do more streams, obviously. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the people who supported and donated and thumbs up the ting. All right. See you again. Peace out.